Hey everyone, welcome to the Midnight Ride with Grayman Prepping here, and just checking some things. Okay, all right, let me move over here. Courtney stepped away for a second. All righty,
I'm
folks,
here.
how's
Sorry.
everybody doing this evening? There she is!
I
Yay!
didn't realize I had that up. Sorry.
All right. Let's say hi to everybody and see how things are going on here in the side chat. Phelan Clan Wolf was in several hours ago at 3:30 Mountain Time. He said he'll try to stay awake for it, be up and early. Courtney came in, said hi. Rita Hunter's here. She'll hang as long as she can. She's been up since 4 a.m. I've only been up since 6 this morning, so. But that's Mountain Time, not Eastern. Bruce is here. Hey, Bruce, Backwoods Law. Jay, he's got his horse saddled and he's ready to go. His name is Molasses.
His name is what?
He's got his horse saddled, ready to go.
Lord.
The horse's name is Molasses. He doesn't think he'll ride and lead.
Howdy, everybody.
Joe, Garden State Gardener's here. Scroll on down here. Everybody's talking back and forth. And Pat McQuaddy, how's it going? And Tennessee Bushcrafter, hey. And Jay, in answer to your question about, Dennis is here. Hey, Dennis, sorry, it bounced right by you. Yes, Jay, those are zombies. That's what we are this time of night. We're zombies. And what's funny, about half hour ago, I put it on pause. I was watching the extended version of World War Z.
Someone's in the mood.
Hey, here he is. Straight from a galaxy far, far away. It's Cosmic Cultivators. All righty. Okay, let me drop this other thing down over here so I can get to my notes. I got several emails today. Well, actually, before I jump into the new stuff. So, guys, sometimes when you prep, you think you got a time schedule. I think, all right, this is going on. Got it all laid out, and all of a sudden, somebody throws you a curveball. So, if somebody saw the video I did on Camp Patton Family Compound last week, I think it was, maybe earlier this week, about the irrigation pipe being delivered. I thought I had a couple more weeks before they're going to turn on the water. Well, it has not frozen, really frozen once this month. We've had a dip down to 32, 31, but the ground's still 64, so it's nice, so nothing really freezes. Okay, today's Thursday, Friday, Tuesday evening, or afternoon, Guy Barris, the county maintenance and everything guy for the city, county guy, city maintenance and everything for the city. Anyways, he stops by and goes, hey, just want to let you know that on Thursday, I'm turning on the irrigation ditch. They told us to go ahead and turn them on. We get 1 week on, 1 week off. 1 week on, 1 week off. I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I better get all the leaves out of the ditch. I mean, because the leaves were piled in the ditch. I started getting them out. They were piled about 18 inches deep. The bottom half of it was wet, compacted, slimy leaves, heavy. And so that afternoon, I just started shoveling. I just tied the pitchfork out there. I'm just going as best I can. I started moving it down the ditch, trying to get it cleaned up. And I froze. About the time I get down to the end of one part of it, just about down there, it's like, crud. If the water gets in here, I may not be able to lay this pipe this year. And with the grandkids coming over a whole bunch, I need to get that pipe in the ground. And so that was Tuesday evening. So I told my daughter, hey, I need your guys' help tomorrow morning. Well,
I've got a wagon in my chicken area.
Yeah. Andrew was supposed to stick around and help Wednesday morning. Well, he decided, I'm going to go with Megan on her little run around for 2 hours, taking the kids through their therapy and speech therapy and this, and everything else. And I'm out there going as best I can. I roll one pipe down. I was able to get the one pipe stabbed into the existing pipe. Got my tractor, started throwing dirt on it, to hold it in place while I stabbed the next ones in it. Got them all laid out, all the pipes laid out, ready to start going. They finally get back. About a half hour after they get back, the wind starts blowing. And all the leaves I tossed out, some start blowing, they start raking them. They start raking them down away so they don't blow back into the ditch. Well, we get the one side all done and get it all put together. And I spent the rest of the afternoon getting it all backfilled up so that in case any water leaks around, it doesn't float the pipe. And then I got the other side, got put the pipe in, put it in the one joint with the other end, and I'm 6 feet shy, almost 5 feet, 5 feet 3 inches shy
That
of
always
reaching
happens
the other one. I'm like, crap. And so I wound up running up to the back up to the pipe place to see if they have any short pieces, either with a bell or a spigot in on it, where someone wanted, want so much, and but they did say they don't cut it. So, and they sent me off to try this other place. Went over there. All they had is precast concrete pipe. It's like, no, can't use that. So right now the pipe is out. The irrigation water is flowing through there, and I finally figured out a way to do it. I'm gonna have to use some of my non-potable water barrels that I picked up for really cheap, and cut the ends out and use them as sleeves to go over the existing pipe and over this pipe, the pipe I'm putting in on each end, and that'll give me just about 6 feet pick up space there. So we'll see how that works. But when I was up in Idaho Falls talking to the pipe guys, I went afterwards over to the equipment rental place to get an excavator because they got other stuff to do. And the problems they're having keeping equipment, Rexburg, which is a lot smaller than Idaho Falls, had the company, it's called Pro Equipment, shuttle around some excavators, and sent 2 of them up there, and corporate got pissed and chewed them out, saying, you just have them sitting up there. We have them rented elsewhere. We're taking them back. And so they're shuffling excavators around, these little Bobcat excavators. And one of the guys here in Idaho Falls decided, all right, I'm going to rent it for all summer. Put it out for all summer. I'm going to pay you for it for all summer. And now they got to tell people, hey, this company's taking it for all summer. We need to get another one here because other people wanting to rent it. Well, supposedly they said they're going to have me set up on Monday. The guy was looking at the wrong calendar. It's not this Monday. It's next month. And he said he was going to do it this Monday. So I got to call him back and say, hey, what's going on here? Problems. So anyways, there's a lot of things going on. Because I'm supposed to be getting a pipeline put in underneath the driveway so then I can pour concrete over the driveway.
Yeah.
Like I said, I started planning things out, and all of a sudden getting curveballs thrown at me left and right. So when you're prepping, you got to be flexible. When you're gardening, you got to be flexible.
I hate that.
Yeah. All right. Let's see who else rolled in here. Okay. Rachel Knight is in here. I saw someone else roll in here. How the Garden's here. Hey, how's it going? Skinner Farms is here. And scrolling back up to make sure I got everybody here, because I know it's rattling on. Okay, I think I got everybody. Make sure, come on back down here. Don't want to miss anybody. You guys are great people to have in here. And Rachel, Mountain Grandma, how you doing?
I saw your video today, Garden State Gardener. Dude, your garden looks freaking awesome.
Oh, and Joe was out there planting radishes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he had the ground cover cloth down. He was planting the stuff there.
Yeah. I told my brother.
I've been watching so many gardening channels, I'm losing it. Someone else is doing potatoes and some fun stuff.
I plan on doing. I have a video in my queue right now. I haven't put out. I'm probably put it out tomorrow, but I plan on doing another one tomorrow because my garden right now is looking the bomb. It's looking pretty sweet. My onions that Joe sent us, freaking awesome. And Joe, we need that information of where you got those from, because those seriously were the best onions that we have ever seen. Like the growth on them right now is amazing. I just went out there and chopped all the greens. They're tops, but yeah, they're seriously the best onions I think I ever. So I'm definitely going to level up in Shed Wars this year for sure. So.
Okay, I'm going to do a little cheat here if I can. So I'm going to move my camera because I edit my videos on a different camera here. I mean, a different computer. So look at this. We can get it here on that one there. And actually, hang on, I got to kill the green screen because the green screen is wiping everything out. And then there we go. Okay. So this is what I was doing yesterday. A little bit of it. I'm going to jump forward here. So I got that pipe set into the other joint there. And then I started backfilling it. So I'm skipping here at 30 seconds a click. So I got that one in. Actually leveling it and driving over it in some cases. Driving over it to compact it.
You have a Kubota?
No, I got a Coyote.
Oh, okay. It just has the same color, so that's why I was like confused.
It's close, and actually, Coyote is an older company.
Mm.
All right, so I'm digging up the dirt, and I get it all there taken care of, and then, okay, I think does the thing work? Okay, that part wasn't moving. Okay, so I'm there. And so we're going down. My daughters are cleaning out the rest of the leaves. I'm getting down in here, putting pipe together. So I got the pipe butter in my hand there. We just stabbed that one. I forgot to run the camera for that piece. But we just get everything cleaned out, roll the next one down, stab it.
Sound like you had a fun, fulfilling day.
Oh, all right. There's the last one. This last one here, I had to put tie straps around it because it stuck into, we slid it into the pipe at the far end there, lubed it up and pulled it back because it's still sticking into that pipe, which is 18 inches. And the outside of this is 17 and a half inches. So it just slides in there. And so that's what, anyways, I got that all backfilled yesterday. But the one boo-boo I made in doing that, I don't know if you can tell the redness here on my hands.
Yeah.
Sunburn on my hands on the controls of the tractor. All right, so let me get that.
Yeah, I was out there looking at my herbs. Past couple of days, we got some rain in, and our garden really perked up after that. But all of my herbs are just ready to harvest right now. I need to go out there and trim them. The only thing that's not ready is my basil, which I had just planted that. So, but my lovage, my lemon balm, all of my oreganos, all of that, they're just they're ready. And yeah, so I don't know what I'm gonna do because I'm having people in my house in 4 weeks, and I have all these herbs that I need to put somewhere to let them dry. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
So how the garden's having fun with his internet. And Bruce says it's probably the T-storm, thunderstorms in the area. So anyways, when it comes to prepping, you don't count on everything going your way when things are nice and calm and normal. Don't count on everything going your way when things are nice and normal in your garden.
In life.
Yeah, in life. Oh, what was it? Oh, I just saw a movie the other day. When I couldn't sleep, I got up and watched the movie. The Hitman's Bodyguard. Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson. And Samuel L. Jackson is all fly by the seat of his pants type thing. Ryan Reynolds is everything, a plan for a plan for a plan, all down thing. And anyways, Samuel L. Jackson's going, life is messy. You can't plan for life. It's going to throw you a curveball and crap all over you. All right. So I got some news things here I want to read off here. I got a couple things to cover here. This one here, first one. How do I want to say this? Actually, let me straighten up my camera a little bit first. There we go. I'm not so. There we go. Now more centered. Take this. This article needs to be taken with a couple tablespoons of salt because it's got a huge spin on it to the one side. All right, so and this is from the Patch network of local news organizations from the Martinez Patch. So of course they focus on most of the stuff in California, but they touch on stuff nationwide a little bit. And it says, the health threat people are talking about this week in California isn't so much the red dragon, though that's nothing to dismiss. Just about is. It's just that, anyways, that's a whole nother story. But rather a single case of monkeypox reported Wednesday in Massachusetts.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Now, monkeypox is usually contained to Central and West Africa. Remember that point. Central and West Africa. It is a potentially, not actual, a potentially serious viral illness that usually begins with flu-like symptoms, swelling the lymph glands before progressing to the rest of the body in a rash or pox as it persists up to 4 weeks. Massachusetts health officials said in a news release, the case posed the particular case they have posed no risk to the general public, and the ill person is in good condition.
I love you, Cosmics.
Well, what?
They're just being silly.
Yeah. Okay. How is it spread? Monkeypox doesn't spread easily. This is what it's saying. It usually occurs through bites or scratches.
Okay, so don't take any substances that will make you want to eat people.
Yeah, no zombie stuff. Okay, or scratches from rodents and small animals, preparing wild game or coming into contact with an infected animal. Individuals can also be infected through contact with infected people or their clothing or bed sheets. In other words, don't sleep with someone who has it. All right.
Which 99% sure they would know if they had it or not. I mean,
especially after 48 hours. The first case in the U.S. confirmed was, let me get this right here. Okay. They're talking about, this is the first case in the U.S. confirmed in actually quite a while here. Why is it called monkeypox? The disease was found in monkeys kept for research in 1958, according to the CDC. The first human case was reported about a decade later in the Democratic Republic of Congo. Okay, so that's in 1968. So we have
the 50s and 1968 to blame.
All right, so it is primarily found in Central, again, they're repeating, primarily found in Central and West Africa countries, including Nigeria, where about 250 cases have been reported since 2017, so in the last 5 years, according to the CDC. Gee, I didn't know they were over there tracking cases. So how did the case get here? All right, remember where it's at. It's over in Africa. The Massachusetts man diagnosed with the first U.S. case. Froze. Confirmed case this year traveled to Canada. Not to Africa, not to Europe, not to anywhere else but Canada. Cosmic, why'd you give it to him? Hey, Homestead Aquarius, how's it going?
I hope not. I don't care anymore. Like whatever's out there, I'll die from it before I ever wear a mask again.
Yeah. However, there's good news with there's good news.
over it.
There's good news with this one. Today. Okay, they have seen confirmed cases out of Portugal and suspected cases out of Spain. So they're getting, we're getting worried. It's traveling everywhere. It's very hard to transmit, but we're worried about it. Okay. Have there been other U.S. monkeypox outbreaks? Yes, there has. 2 cases last year related to travel from Nigeria. That was last year. And in 2003, 47 infected prairie dogs imported from Guyana. Why are we importing prairie dogs? We have prairie dogs all over the United States and are trying to get rid of them anyways. The people that all the people affected in 2003 had contacts with animals, according to the CDC. So unless you had contact with these infected animals, you didn't get it. In fact, people didn't even spread it to people.
So stop playing with your monkeys, people.
Oh,
did I say that out loud?
Hey, Nate, Mitch. I bet Bruce's head just about hit his keyboard on that one. Okay. All right. So all right. Okay. One thing that's different in the current case is that they are apparently people who haven't traveled from Africa. However, they don't know who that person was boinking around with in other countries that had traveled from Africa. So, is there a treatment? Monkeypox and smallpox symptoms are similar. The same vaccine that eradicated smallpox around 1950 curbed monkeypox in humans. So, and this is, so basically they have the smallpox vaccine. Someone gets it, they give them a shot of that, and boom, it kills it. So why is everybody worried about it?
We will be okay. We have lived through some of the world's biggest BS in the past couple of years. We will make it through this, people.
Yeah.
It'll be okay.
Garden State Gardener, I had not thought of that song, and is 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. One fell off and was like the president.
Oh, Lord.
All right, so okay, and so that takes care of that. So that takes care of the monkeypox. Now, something a little bit more serious. I've mentioned this before, but I brought it up again here. Was about the jumping worms, the Asian jumping worms.
Yeah, you sent me an article about that.
I sent you an article on it.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can. So the big difference, the big way you can tell between most, like night crawlers and other worms that are beneficial, and the Asian jumping worms, which also go called Alabama jumpers. They have a whole bunch of different names for them. I'll read all the names off in a second. Let's picture here. You see that kind of white stripe there? The white band, either it's white to light gray. It's the Asian one.
Nice.
All the night crawl stuff are usually, brown or red or burgundy. So let me see names. Jersey wigglers, Alabama jumpers, wood eel, crazy worms, snake worms, crazy snake worms. Just some of the names that are called here in the U.S. And so, they came in being imported from Korea in plants. They were in the soil, the potted plants that were imported. They checked it. So they didn't dig in the to see what was in there. Didn't realize they had the worms were in there. And so these worms go from 1.5 inches to 8 inches long, and they start jumping anywhere along there. So anyways, what's so bad about these worms is you put them in the soil, your garden soil, they'll go through, and they are ravenous eaters. They'll eat all the nutrients out of the soil, all the decomposing stuff. They eat everything.
Geez, that wasn't planned out or anything.
And their poop is not beneficial like regular worm poop is. Jay, I don't know if the worms can catch the monkeypox.
No, this is the jumping worm, TN. I know about the hammerhead worms. Those are creepy, but yeah.
Yeah. And so anyway, so that's what's going on. You guys can look up our news articles on this. Check your local patch. So like you're in Columbus, it'd be the Columbus patch, or Dallas would be the Dallas patch. It's an email news thing. They send you emails of their articles and stuff.
Oh, I mean, I'm worried about that, obviously, but I'm really worried about the lanternfly that, is kind of taken over the East Coast.
Yeah.
I don't want that here.
Well, if it follows the worms are spreading from the east, west, except for a few plants that got traveled from the East Coast to California, Oregon, and Washington.
Yeah.
And so they're going to get. Yeah. All right. So, look up the Asian jumping worms if you want more information on it. Supposedly they're in 32 different states. Now, time to laugh at California. Or should I say, the great nuisance commie state. New California gas price record tops nation by wide margin. That's the headline. All right. The price for a gallon of gas in California is $1.48 higher than the national average. The national average is $4.58. Now, that's the average for the entire nation, including California, included all 50 states. That's the average is $4.58.
Here was $4.28 today.
Yeah. One county, Mono County, I think it is, the average is above $7. And anybody here that is a member of Corsair Trainers channel, Steve sent out a thing yesterday, I think it was, showing what the gas prices was in his area, his local gas station. Here, I'm going to show this one quick. $5.89.9, $6.099, $6.29.9. Not saying, that is at a regular, a gas station in Los Angeles, which is not, that's probably downtown, whereas Steve is farther out. But there are some down there in Los Angeles County that have already topped $7 a gallon for the full service gas stations and all the other funky ones downtown LA.
I'm just glad I don't live there.
Oh, so I can't hardly wait until my wife and sons get out of there and come here. Oh, let's see here. The average price climbed 21 cents in a week, according to AAA. Get here. I'm trying to get through here. For the first time ever, every state in the country saw gas prices exceed $4 per gallon Wednesday, according to SF Gate, the left-wing newspaper of San Francisco. California led the pack by 71 cents. The most expensive state is the next most expensive state is Hawaii. All right, Hawaii, where they got to ship the gas over to it on a cargo ship, is $5.34 average. The least expensive state for an average was Oklahoma. Gardner Josh, you got the cheapest gas at $4.03 per gallon average. There are multiple reasons why California led by such a massive amount. All the stupid tax the demon rats have been slapping on California gas. California has something like $2.50 of tax per gallon. Yeah. Yeah, Mono County has an average of $7.05 per gallon. And yeah, the least expensive county in San Diego was $6.02 average. Yeah, so it's ridiculous. I'm going to show this here real quick. I'm not sure how well you guys are going to be able to see it. Mono County, $7.05. Alpine County, $6.79. Humboldt County, $6.44. Del Norte County, $6.36. Trinity County, $6.32. Sierra County, $6.30. San Francisco County, $6.30. Napa County, $6.29. San Mateo, $6.29. Marin County, $6.28. Oh, wow. Those last four are San Francisco Bay Area. Oh, wrong one. There we go. So, diesel. All right. Jay, diesel. Diesel is up there higher. Shoot, I can't find that one. All I know is, all right, I was driving around today when I was checking on stuff. The cheapest gas I saw was $4.39. The most expensive was $4.49. $5.39 was the cheapest diesel. $5.59 was the most expensive diesel I saw today. Fortunately, I found a place where I can get off-road diesel for my Coyote tractor. None of the highway taxes on it. I'm not sure how much that's going to lower it by, but every penny counts. And Dennis says, I think on top of that, diesel is up 75%. Yeah. Oh, if not more, if not more. If you go prior to the Red Dragon, it's up. It's like 150% up since that time started. So yeah, gas is it's coming around, people, and then of course they're doing all sorts of stupid stuff. Economic Ninja, I can't talk here. The Economic Ninja put out a video today. I'm gonna see if I can find it here so I can give you the name of it here and I'll throw it in the link in there. N-I Ninja. There we go. Boom, boom. Bring it up here. Okay, I think it's the one here that was 15 hours ago. Actually, let me just go ahead and throw it up here because boom. All right, I think it's not what you think. High gas and diesel prices are here to stay. I think that's the one. 7 hours ago. Yeah, this is the one. Worst case for gas and diesel prices. 7 hours ago. The U.S. House of Representatives, passes fuel price gouging bill. And he compares exactly what happened with that to what happened in other countries where they did the same crap. And all of a sudden, all these, they're saying, oh, you're charging too much for gas. They're like, hey, the wholesalers are raising on us. We got to raise our price so we can make money. Oh, you can't do that. Fine. They shut the doors. All of a sudden, most of the gas stations shut down and there's no gas to be had. So, yeah. So anyways, the link for that one, let me grab it here. Here it is. This is the link for that one right there.
Is that bill passed yet? It didn't pass yet, has it?
It passed the House.
Okay, so we're still waiting on it.
Yes, so it hasn't passed the Senate yet. So write your senators, email your senators, call them, tell them to vote it down. It didn't pass, but it was close margin. It barely passed. So if the Senate kills it, it may not make it back again.
Let's hope it doesn't make it at all. That sounds like some BS.
Yeah, that always has. Yeah, and there's some other stuff on it. Dang, Bruce is still up. That's amazing. Hey, Bruce, I put the link in Courtney's link chat.
He doesn't do Facebook. He is.
Oh, all right. Now, of course, Faye's already gone to bed, so he can't wake Purple up. Hey, do you know her? Do you know how to get into her account? Yeah, Bruce, if you want the link, I'll send it to you. Yeah, I don't have. Yeah, Bruce, I don't have Facebook. Hey, sometimes you need to have Facebook just to laugh at some of the memes.
I just like it for Messenger. Well, I did up until like a week ago.
What happened?
Just drama.
Took drama. Yeah. I guess the Army guy's not as brave as the Marine guy, because Steve would do it. Oh, sorry, Bruce. Hey, Bruce, I only poke fun at you because I like you so much. All right. So those are the main stuff I have, wanted to talk about here. Got the three main news articles out there. That concerns everybody. What doesn't concern everybody is I am PO'd at what happened in our state here in Idaho. Butthead Little is the governor. He is a Democrat in Republican clothing. He has been lying his butt off. Oh, I never did this. I never did that. And people say, well, here you did on this here. And people are just quoting. These people are quoting him, quoting the dates that actually happened, what he did. And the one person that was running against him had the best chance of knocking him out was the lieutenant governor. And then we got 4 more dingle butts in the last minute, barely made it on the ballot. And they didn't do anything as far as anything out about them until a month ago. And if they had not jumped in on this, when you have the incumbent and this big field out here, people get confused. Oh, I'm just going to vote for the incumbent. If these other dingbats hadn't jumped, because they did not stand a chance, no way in Hades, of getting close, and they didn't. None of them did. But the amount of votes they took, percentage, if they weren't there, the lieutenant governor would have gotten it, and probably a little bit more, because all the people that get confused by a big running field go to the incumbent. Well, she even with just what they took, she would have beat Little. And she would be the only one on the Republican ballot for Idaho. And she was also the only one that was Trump supported. Trump's come out and supported her out here for photo ops and stuff with her. He actually said, no, I wouldn't go with this guy at all, or a couple of these other dinglebutts. And so they wound up pulling votes from her that would have kept Little from being on the ballot. So it just ticks me off. I mean, I would love to be able to find some little law that he's violated that he could be arrested for and removed from office.
Yeah.
Just a little small, even if it's a misdemeanor or a minor felony, get him in there and have the judge make it, okay, you're ineligible to hold office. Boom, that's your penalty, and he'd be out. What we got here? Seed swap and Baker Creek groups. Okay, that's what he used it for. Oh, he used it. Okay, second part. Here's the first part. He used it for canning rebels or rebel canners. Dehydrated rebel, probably canning rebel, dehydrated medical herbs, guarding livestock groups. Yeah.
I'm in the most obnoxious chicken group, where if you try to tell somebody how to raise chickens, they yell at you.
Oh, everybody knows how to do it and they don't want help?
You mean you're not supposed to put your feathered chickens out, non-feathered chickens, baby birds, out and about without their heat lamp?
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of that, I'm not sure if my daughter did it or my son-in-law did it. They took a couple pallets and made an A-frame teepee in the chicken run.
Mm-hmm.
So the chickens will crawl up and climb up on the different parts of the pallets, and or they'll go under for shade and stuff. They did, whoever put it out there, or both of them, I think they did it together, didn't attach it to each other. They just leaned it against each other. Well, we had some insane winds today. Literally, the one time I went out there, it about blew me over. That 36-inch pipe I had sitting in the field, it blew it across the field. It rolled it. There was some.
Sorry, when you say pipe,
I'm talking about
your corrugated plastic pipe, right? Okay. Because like immediately when I think of pipe, I'm thinking like hardcore metal.
Yeah. Well, hey, this stuff is not light.
Okay.
For the 15-inch pipe, it takes 2 people to carry it. It's that heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this thing here, it was hard for me to roll it out. For me to roll it in the video that I'm going to be coming out with here, I got to finish editing tomorrow. I'm pushing it, and it's like, ugh, I'm pushing it. You can see the camera shaking because I was using my body cam at that point, showing it, and I'm pushing on it, trying to get it to roll downhill. It's kind of grassy area. It was kind of, there's a slope that way, so it ain't much of a slope, but it is maybe half-inch slope for 10 feet. But anyways, it was hard, and it rolled it up that slope. It blew it up the slope. I had some metal gates that have been standing out there to those 75-mile-an-hour gusts we were having last month. Didn't do anything to the gates. Blew all the gates down this time. I thought the big trees out here were going to break and fall. Those big trees, the big huge trees around the irrigation ditch. These suckers are like 5-6 foot diameter at the base, and they just kind of move like this, barely move.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they were whipping. At the one video I put out, I wish I had my camera with me. The one point, the way the trees, the branches were bending over back onto the tree itself, it bent it back even farther, and I heard branches cracking. So tomorrow I got to go out there when the wind's gone and find out which ones are broken and cut them out of there. But it was just absolutely blowing up a storm. Anyways, the pallets that she made a teepee out of blew over.
Oh.
Yeah, got one of her Rhode Island Red chicks. Well, no, they're decent size now, but got one of them. But so I told him, you never set anything up like that where animals are around unless you secure it. You screw it. You get some. You have the screws. You got your cordless drill. Go out there. You put a screw in from each one on each corner to hold it up in place so it can't slide around, move around. Okay, what do we got going on here? No, there are not little chicken nuggets everywhere, Bruce. Okay, I'm just catching, see what's going on in the side chat here. And okay. All right. Tennessee says working in Illinois at an ethanol plant, they actually cut a cornfield. They usually cut a cornfield and prop them in the middle. Oh, and then they had a tornado warning. Oh, wow. Yeah. So yeah, things are life is messy, folks. Life is messy.
Yep.
So eyes open, head on a swivel, no fear, because hey, something's going to catch you. You're going to get poop on you no matter what.
Well, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
And if you're upwind from somebody and they're poop or downwind, whatever from them, and 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 they poop blows. Oh, that thing was rolling about 30 miles an hour. Oh, yeah. If you got a pipe rolling at you and you can't get out of the way and it's just rolling real fast like that, your best bet is just to lay down flat, turn your head sideways, lay down, and hope it just rolls right on past quickly. Because if you're standing up and it hits you, oh, you got the impact, and then it's gonna roll over the length of your body. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of things going on. Oh, and then today my daughter asked me to start chitting tomato seeds for her. She wants to plant a whole bunch. So of the beefsteak, I got about 30 of them in there chitting. She wants, and then there's about 20 of carbon tomatoes.
I never even heard of those.
They're really kind of they got the red outside, but just inside the flesh area before you get to where all the seeds are, it gets almost maroon. Dark, deep dark.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah, we can only have hope. Nate has. It's delicious. Yeah. And anyway, she's going to take those two, and she wants to make her own tomato sauce, pasta sauce. So, I told her that I was told that Roma's gives the sauce a lot of meat texture to it. So, so she may go out and buy a package of Roma's. Ooh, favorite slicer is black cremini.
Probably black creme.
Yeah,
I like Cherokee purple's my favorite.
Similar to Joseph, similar to Cherokee purple.
Yeah.
All right, Rita.
Dustin's Cherokee purple is his favorite. We usually add that in with our sauce every year too. It's like a
Nate. Don't say it, Gil.
But why is that a dark tomato?
Just don't say it.
I'm confused. Can you explain that?
I have a feeling that's a joke.
Yeah, I'm hoping that's a joke. He was trying to get you to say something funny, I think, Gil. Hey, Dennis.
Hello, Dennis.
Yep.
Yeah, we liked the Amish paste for making stuff, but the problem is the Amish paste is really susceptible.
The past couple years, we had noticed that it's blight. It gets a blight on it.
It's a tomato, not a joke. Just think of the name of that, Nate, and repeat it slowly in your head.
Yeah. Now that you said that, now I read it the other way. It's like, reminds me of a joke my cousin told in front of his mom and got smacked in the back of the head for telling it.
Yeah.
Someone's in trouble.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll grow that tomato. I don't know.
I don't think that's in our.
Yeah. I might try growing some blue suede shoes, though. I think it'd work.
Just watch out for Elvis, man.
Yep.
I was gonna say something similar.
Don't step on my majors.
Yeah.
So far, everything's doing good in our garden. So.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah. I was contemplating planting a couple things outdoors until I saw the wind advisory starting up yesterday. And I'm like, I'm going to wait. And today it's like, I would have lost a lot of plants today. If anything plant I put out there, I would have lost today.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's too much wind for plants that aren't already hardened off good.
Yeah, and like I said, this one here just about blew me down. and it was blowing crap over that the other winds didn't bother. So yeah, this was pretty horrific winds we had coming through here today. So, and it was blowing from us towards Yellowstone. Oh, speaking of Yellowstone, brings in several things to my mind. Those that follow, I don't know how many people here follow Suspicious Observers. Last Saturday, Ben made a prediction that there was going to be an over a 6.0 earthquake this week. It happened today, and it was actually up. Originally, they posted it as a 7.1, and then they knocked it to 6.9, and then they knocked it down to a 6. Did they knock it down to a 6.7? Hang on, I got it here recorded here. It knocked it down to a 6.7, yeah. On the Marteri Island region down south side of Australia.
I'm stepping down, y'all. I'm having issues.
Switching seats.
Yeah, Dustin's gonna take over.
Okay.
What the hell? Ow.
All right. Let's see. All right. Tennessee said, "Oh, you can get about 20 pounds off one tomato. 12 to 15 feet up trellises. Dang.
2 years ago, my plants were well over 10 foot high, and I mean they were just loaded with tomatoes. Last year, I grew more of the paste tomatoes, and then they didn't do very well. Like they got blight real early. Way backwoods.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's funny, Tennessee, what you said about the Cherokee Purple. I introduced our Mennonite neighbors to the Cherokee Purple tomato. They'd never had it before, and now they grow it every year. It's his favorite too. It's a really good tomato. The Kellogg's is good too. Kellogg's Breakfast is a really good tomato.
How do you spell King Poopah?
King and then P-O-O and B-A-H.
B-A-H, okay.
Yeah.
There we go. There. Yeah. Don't want people thinking you're quirky.
What did we grow? I can't remember the type of tomato we planted. It was a hybrid, disease-resistant hybrid that we planted this year.
Yeah, the tomatoes we've always grown, I mean, they haven't gotten much higher than 5 feet tall. But a lot of times that was my wife or my mom out there snip, cutting it down. But they were friggin' loaded. I mean, it was that we actually had tomato racks, break under the weight of the tomatoes.
Yeah, I had. We used the cattle panels, and I actually had the cattle panels break loose and fall over because they had so much weight on them.
Yeah.
Something to drink?
No, I don't.
Yeah. So.
Here's Advil. I'll get you a bottle of water.
Yeah.
3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, my indoor tomato plant hit 52 inches today in height.
Nice.
And I had 13 tomatoes on it, and it started bushing out too much, and so I wanted to kind of pull it back. And using I had the PVC pipes there for the stand holding the lights. I took some of my green stakes and put it across the front, worked fine. Went to put one on the side, and it was the one branch was was laying out so far. As I tried to raise it up with a thing, I didn't realize that's what one of the little tomatoes was, and it bumped it and it shot off. It's like, oh crap. But yeah, so I got the those green green coated metal stakes you can get at Home Depot and stuff. Yeah, that's why I was using those. So I'm using those to hold it in place to keep it from spreading the one way. And so if I have learned one thing, this fall I'm only going to plant one plant, not two indoors.
Yeah.
And I'll probably go with the beefsteak this fall. And that way I can center it in the area there. And what I may do is in the one tub I may plant a couple more lettuce in that tub, and just let that one go, and that way I'll be able to have plenty of lettuce. The lettuce I got growing in that half barrel that I've shown in my videos over there, big. Oh, I froze. Didn't even look down. I was looking. So my lettuce heads in the half barrel I've got are probably about. I can probably take my hands and go like this around them.
Nice.
But I've already I can peel off the lettuces. It's called they're Grand Rapids.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a really curly lettuce. A whole bunch of curly leaves and stuff. So it's a little bitter, but not as bitter as some lettuces I've had. And it's not like iceberg, which is water and no flavor.
Yeah.
It's great with I have Newman's own Caesar salad dressing, and it's great with that on it. But
are most of the dwarf tomatoes I've ever seen are like cherry tomatoes. Are there dwarf tomato plants that actually grow like a small slicer size?
Yeah. I tried one last year. I got a tomato I got two or three tomatoes about that big off of it. Okay. Because when my wife brought it up here to me, it was later in the season, and up here anyways, it didn't do that good up here because I got it so late in the season. The other three she had down there got about 5 times the size of the one here. It's called either a patio or a porch tomato. Mm-hmm. And the tomatoes get about that big around, but hers were just loaded with them. And so she had a bunch of those, and they're made to be grown in pots, on your patio. So
I believe we're growing all 3 of those lettuces that you have listed there. Plus, we grew Tom Thumb, Tennessee. Mm-hmm. We got little butter crunch heads, I think, out there. It's the Tom Thumbs that got little heads on them.
Oh, so some of those tomatoes can get up to 10 ounces. Those off of the dwarf plants.
That's cool. I'll have to look into that because I want to grow tomatoes all year round. Is what my plan is. I want to do the hydroponic tomatoes in the basement.
Yeah, because you can buy bacon and freeze it, and in the wintertime pull it out. Especially if it's homegrown and stuff, or whatever, something locally grown, you get it, you freeze it, and it doesn't have all the crap in it that some of the ones you get in the store do. Yeah. The lettuce, you can't, the lettuce and tomatoes, you buy that stuff in the wintertime, it's imported from South America. Yeah. And it's spent, several weeks in a cargo container ripening.
Yeah, that's one thing. We don't eat lettuce at all from the store. Like, sometimes you get forced to do it, like, because Courtney's mom has a salad with every flipping meal, no matter what you're eating. Like, it's like a 5-course meal. She has to have a salad, and dessert, and then a side, and a lot of stuff. But
well, do that. But in your downstairs there, where you got all your grow lights and stuff, if you can pick up some, a 55-gallon barrel or couple 30-gallon barrels, just cut them in half, and you can grow a lot of lettuce in that. And if you I don't know if you saw last year the tomatoes I had outside my kitchen door there, those things outgrew their cages in a half 55-gallon barrel, and they had so many friggin' tomatoes on there. My daughter and I could not keep up with them, and she was feeding them to the chickens and tossing them out there, and the rabbits would go out and nibble on them. And she was, giving them away and stuff. And, there were still just too many tomatoes out there.
That orange hut tomato that I'm growing. I think that's a micro tomato because the plant's only about yay big.
Yeah.
And I've probably ate 50 tomatoes off of it, and it's still loaded with tomatoes.
5 gallons or a little smaller. Okay. Because I have those 2 ones that my tomatoes are currently in. That's a 30-gallon cut in half. So those are 15 gallons. And as soon as I get the 6 spruce trees planted, those will be 10-gallon pots I have. So I'll have some 10-gallon pots too. So I may bring bring some of those inside and for the lettuces and stuff, and see what I can do that for during the wintertime.
Yeah, I'm going to try to go soilless. That's my thing. I want to try the hydroponics and see how it works out for me.
Okay. Daniel Arms Family Homestead took a 55-gallon barrel and got the little baskets, and had cantaloupe. Was it cantaloupe or cucumbers growing in it? And it was doing great, except for one time I guess they went on vacation, whatever. They thought, okay, it's got plenty of water and it'll last. They didn't open the greenhouse all the way up, and they got a hot spell in there, and it got a little hot in there for some of the stuff.
Yeah, that's why I'm wanting to go soilless Tennessee. That's because no gnats, none of that stuff. Aphids, none of that crap.
You'd be surprised. The gnats will still show up on the plants because where the plant goes into the water and stuff there, that area there, they'll try to feed, do whatever they do down there at that point of the soil, in the soil of the plant, the roots and stuff where it goes in. On your if you're doing the flow through system where the water's supposed to be kept at a certain level, you'll have a little bit less of a problem because there's something if you do it like in a container where as it uses the water drops and you got to fill it back up a little bit. As it surges like that, you get an area there where the gnats like to nest and grow and lay eggs and stuff.
Yeah, I have those you see a lot of people use them for hydroponics, the storage totes, the black ones with the yellow lids.
Yeah.
I bought a bunch of those when I did the bathroom remodel to store our towels and stuff like that in the basement while we were doing the work. And the plan was after that, then I can use them for my hydroponics.
Yeah, I saw where every one of those little, the one I saw, they actually had the squares, not the diamond pattern on it. And every square they had drilled a hole and they put one of those cups in it.
Same ones I have there, yeah.
Yeah. Problem is, like I say, you got to watch the water level. Okay. There is a thing called a bulkhead fitting. And you can get it at Ace Hardware. Not so much at Home Depot or Lowe's. And basically what it has is you drill a hole, the bulkhead fitting looks like a T shape with a screw-on nut on the bottom, sort of like a shower stall drain. And it has the gasket on it. You put the gasket in there. It has another gasket on the outside. You screw it up tight, and it's watertight. And the inside is threaded to whatever size pipe you want. Anything from 1/2 inch. I've seen bulkhead fittings 6 inches around, but you get like one that's 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch size. You screw in your a closed nipple. Then you get the threaded PVC that's 90 that's threaded both ends. Screw that on. You screw a longer nipple up, and then you can set it where. And when you come up a little bit, then you can put a bushing on there and go with like a like 1/2 inch to a 2 inch bushing and put a 2 inch slip by thread coupler on there. And screw it on, so that leaves you with like a little cup there, and you can see set it so you can see the water level. And if the water level starts dropping down, you just add more water and nutrients at that point, and let it flush down into the system and into it there. Or you can pour it on top of the thing, let it dribble in from the top. But this will show you where your water level is.
Yeah, that's a good good way to do that. Like I've known guys that had like like a rat rod car, but it's a motorcycle, like a rat bike, and they'll make a fuel gauge on their tank with the fittings in their tank with just a piece of clear tube.
Right.
The fuel line, and then you can see how much fuel's in the tank.
Yeah. Clear tubes are great for fuel because algae won't build up in there.
Yeah.
But you use a water that also you get all the algae growing there because especially when you got nutrients in the water like that, it's going to just naturally just grow.
I want to build the system to where I can drain. It's easy for me to drain it to change out my.
Yeah. Let me see if I can pull this up over here real quick here.
It's pretty cool. Arsenic Element he bought them on Amazon. He has the air pumps that are solar powered. So he actually has his 5-gallon his buckets outside with pepper plants in them with solar powered bubblers, which is pretty cool.
Here we go. So there's different ones you can get here. You know, 3/4 inch inside and stuff. But yeah, you can get all sorts of different ones. Let me go ahead and yeah, this is that's similar to the ones I usually get from Ace Hardware. Yeah, this one here, come on, doesn't show the other side of it, but the other side of it shows that it's smooth like this on the inside of the tank, and then your nuts on the outside. There we go. And yeah, it just screws on. So you got the gasket. The gasket goes on. Then your whatever your tank is, whatever it is. Then the friction washer, and then the nut on the outside of it. And you get those from you can 1/2 inch pipe thread up to whatever. But yeah, of course, the bigger you go, the more it costs. Yeah. There's all sorts of cool bulkhead fittings. Yeah, because I tried using the on some of my 55-gallon barrels that I was using for the recycled water from the sewage treatment plant, which they were giving away for free. You come in there with a 300-gallon tote. You can fill it up as many times as you want. Take it home, empty it out. When we were on water restriction. And I put a couple of those on the barrel so I could see the level of the barrels and had all plumbed together. Within 2 weeks, it was green. And I couldn't tell what the water level was.
Yeah, that stinks. The it's something I'm going to work out eventually when I set up my new water catchment system with the IBC totes that I just got. I want to obviously I'm going to connect them, so I can overflow into the next when one's full. And I want to.
Got a better idea for you.
Oh yeah.
On your bottom valve, depending on how you got it, it's either going to be a 2-inch pipe thread on it, or it's going to be a cam lock fitting, or it's going to be a combination of both. Just go ahead and screw on your PVC threaded fitting to come out. Put a T on it. Go over to the next one. Connect it. Go over to the next one. That way they all fill from the bottom up.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, you could just connect them through there and then put a T with a valve. Yeah.
Yeah, and then on your final end where it comes off, put a T. So your pipe's coming like this. Put a T this way so it goes up and down. On the bottom, have it go down. Then put a ball valve at the bottom of it. You can reduce it down to like 1/2-inch ball valve. That's for any sediment that as it washes out in and out and stuff. That way you can drain any sediment out that comes off your rain dust, dirt, bird poo, whatever. Get chunks and stuff. It'll settle down, and that's you have it fill on that one into the others. So that's your fill side. You have to have that sediment catcher there. And then on the other side, have the same setup on the other side. So you have the bottom valve, only on the other side, you have it, the T goes over and down with another catchment on it. And then you pull off that one to your, wherever you want to run the water to. That catches a little bit more sediment there. That way you don't plug it. If you run it through a drip system, you don't plug up your emitters or anything like that. Because that's basically what I had to do with my other one. I had two IBC totes hooked up, and even quote the filtered, strained, clean water from the sewage treatment plant. Every now and then, some solids showed up.
Oh yeah. The what I want to do, like that's a good idea. How you said to do that, that's a really good idea. Just face them together, and it really eliminates a lot of problems.
Or we set them side by side, so the valves all facing one direction. You just run your line across the front and onto it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about in the area where I'm going to do it, but yeah, it should work. But I want to set up a solar powered pump, because I'm going to need more than just gravity, because where I'm setting it up is actually lower than the garden. Mm-hmm. So I need to be able to pump it. It doesn't have to pump it, real high, but it has to be able to pump it at least 6 to.
How much pressure do you need to pump?
Just enough to water plants, nothing.
Okay, hang on here. Give me a second here. Got a great idea. It's what I've done on HARBOR. Volt VOLT PUMP. So I got this as an emergency pump, and it works. Which one is it? Where is it? Okay. Actually, I even have it at Lowe's too. There we go. That's the one.
Yeah, I've seen the ram pumps and stuff like that. It's like
ram pumps, though, you got to have a constant flow, and you lose a bunch of water as part of the action.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But yeah, this here is Harbor Freight, 12 volt. You have yourself a deep cycle RV battery that it's hooked up to, and you have your solar powered little 15-watt charger or whatever else to keep that battery charged. You go out there, you clip it on, you start running your pump, and that's one way of doing it. There's another way. It doesn't pump as water as fast, and that's you hook it up with an RV on-demand diaphragm pump. You know how showers are in an RV and that stuff. You have just barely enough to wash off and stuff. But they have those.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea either, Gil. It's a good idea. Yeah, it just needs to, as long as I can run it with, because I have electricity there, but I just kind of would like to do it solar. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Of course, then there's the other thing to do too, is it's just I'm thinking about some stuff we were planning to do here. My daughter was going to build a 6-foot tall platform and put a couple IBC totes up on top of it, and then just run a regular 110 pump or solar, but from the irrigation ditch to fill those.
Yeah.
And I got off of Amazon a float switch. And basically, it kind of hangs down in there, and when the water gets up and it gets at a certain point, it shuts off. And you run any voltage through it. You can run 110, you can run 220, you can run 12 volt, and so basically, when it gets up and it gets full, it shuts off the pump.
Yeah.
But you got to have a check valve in there too.
Yeah.
Just in case so it doesn't siphon any water back.
Yeah, you don't want to pump it all right back in.
Yeah, but that way, if you had a one IBC tote down low with a pump on it, and you had a hose pumping up to the one set up high above your garden, then you can just gravity feed when as you need it. And if it's solar powered, it would pump until the thing's full.
Yeah,
and
that's not a terrible idea. My issue is what right now I have a small. I'm trying to remember how many gallons it is. I think it's about 150 gallon. It's a I don't know, a smaller tank that I have right now. And my issue is if I start setting up this bigger water catchment system, it's actually not legal here. So I have.
Ohio doesn't allow you to catch rainwater.
It's per the county. Our county says you can't harvest rainwater.
I would contact your state representative and get them to pass a state law to overrule that, because that's what happened in California. A couple of counties were saying, "Oh, we don't want anybody catching rain and stuff," and the state said, "No, everybody can catch rain."
Yeah, it is true.
They basically made a law prohibiting counties from prohibiting people from catching rain because of the drought. Because the counties wanted, we want it to go into the aquifer.
Yeah,
and they said, "Hey, dipshits." They didn't, but they should have. The people catch the water, they use it in their garden. Where does it go from the garden? It waters the garden. It goes down into the aquifer, any excess water.
Yep. It's like around here, like literally, like we're surrounded by swampland. Okay, like there's plenty of water. If you dig a hole here, you have a pond. Like all you gotta do is dig a hole, and within a month, it's full.
Yeah.
It's because we probably have about 24 inches of topsoil. Then you're hitting clay. And the water table is real high.
Yeah. Well, do you have a friend that has a backhoe?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, my mind's going here. I was thinking, well, if that's the case, you dig a hole, you get a 55-gallon PVC, plastic barrel, drill a couple holes in it, so water can get in. You drop that down, put drain rock around it, and then you plumb from that out.
Yeah.
So and you can set it up with the float switch in the barrel, so when the barrel fills up, it pumps the water out. And when it gets down to almost empty, it shuts off, and as it fills up again, it pumps out. That way, you don't have a rain catchment.
Yeah, I'm not too worried about it, but I just don't want, because when they do their eye in the sky from the old Google, and assess my property, I don't want them to see a water catchment system. So what I'm gonna do is I have a carport like on the back of the garage, a concrete pad in there, where I can build them up, lift them up off the ground a little bit, and catch the gutter right off the back of that.
Yeah.
And that way it's completely covered, and I can keep them kind of in the dark too, to where I won't get as much light on them to grow algae.
Yeah. Yeah. That's if you're doing that, on your gutter, there's plenty of, you can check on you just go to open up Google and put rain gutter diverter. And they also, companies make all sorts of different valves and stuff for them, and from actual type ball valve type ones to just ones that look like a regular gutter and has a little flip thing on it. And that, if you have it under the carport, they're not going to see anything at all. And even if you put it outside, not under the carport, you know how you camouflage it from the eye in the sky? You lay a piece of plywood on it, you lay several pieces of firewood on top of it. Looks like a pile of firewood.
Yeah. That'll do. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, for your nutrients and stuff for your hydroponics. So you're going to have to be buying the chemical nutrients and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have chickens, right?
Yeah.
What other animals do you have?
Right now, we just have the chickens and turkeys.
chicken and turkeys, no goats, no little piggy or anything else like that.
No.
Okay. Well, you can do it with the chicken manure.
You have to dilute it down big time.
Yes, what I'm saying is make a tea.
Yeah.
And then but I know what works really good is the cow manure tea. And if you also if you have someone who has goat, if you can get goat poo and put it like in a 55-gallon barrel and have a spigot at the a hose spigot, put it on the bottom, and you fill it full of water, and after a week you start draining some of the you need to put some sort of filter on there so you don't get the poo coming out, but just start draining out the tea out of it. And that way, you start storing it in gallon milk jugs during the summer, whatever. And then during the wintertime, you got here's my nutrients, all natural.
Yeah, you just have to do a little bit of experimentation, probably just to see, how strong it is, because you're not really dealing with
rabbit and goat. You can put directly on plants.
Can you do goat? I never heard goat. I know
same thing. It's pellet poo.
Yeah.
And I froze again. And because around here a lot of people have goats and stuff, and they clean out the goat pen and they put it right on around the plants and stuff, and it doesn't kill it.
Yeah. Eventually, I want to get gutters put on the barn, and then I'll have one hell of a water catchment system back there off the barn, for watering the animals and stuff like that. Because if the power goes out, I got to run a generator to run water for my animals and stuff like that at this point. So.
Yeah. What voltage is your pump?
Oh, the
well pump.
The well pump. I believe it's a 110. I believe.
Okay, if it's 110, find out what the amperage is on it. Figure out what the watts are, and get a inverter that's twice the size number of watts as it is. So if it's a 1500 watt pump, get a 3000 continuous watt inverter, and then you can slowly pick up the extra large golf cart batteries. They're 6 volt each, so you need to get 2 at a time, and wire it together so it makes 12 volts, and have a solar panel to keep it charged.
Yeah.
And you'd be amazed what you can do, especially if you have several panels and a charge controller. If it's battery's full, it's not going to throw any more charge onto the battery, so it's not going to overcharge it. But when the power goes out, you got power there to run your water. You don't have to fire up a generator. No noise to alert anybody listening for a generator.
Yeah, not a bad idea, Gil. Not a bad idea at all.
Yeah, because when I started doing that, I had Harbor Freight they no longer have it. They had the 45 watt system, which was 3 15-watt panels, a charge controller, and a couple fluorescent lights that you could plug into the charge controller as well. Well, I had the 3 panels. I had 3 RV deep cycle batteries from Walmart, and I made a little rolling case and everything. The panels were on and folded up and everything. And the city of Martinez had the Main Street Peddlers Fair from May 15th through August 29th. For every Saturday. And I would go take that down there for the CERT program, and then for the scouts, with a couple chest freezers, and we'd sell ice cream. And that thing kept, a 45 watt panel kept enough trickle voltage into wattage into it to for what the chest freezers were using, because they don't run all the time. And even through a hot summer day, opening and closing all the time, kept the freezers cold, and there was still a partial charge at the end of the time by the time I got done. Well, when I put a 100 watt panel on there, boom, twice as much power going into it, and it was fully charged by the at the end of the day as it was at the beginning.
Yeah, that's cool.
So yeah, you can do a lot of cool things with solar. Don't be afraid to experiment. And
What's the deal? Do you know? Like, because I've seen them. I haven't seen any this year so much, but last year there was a lot of people selling used solar panels, like off of buildings or something like that.
Be careful with that.
That's what I was.
Because all right, there are three main types of solar panels. The original, the ones that Harbor Freight sells are, I'm gonna pronounce it wrong, anthropomorphic, and basically it's and then there's the polycrystalline and the monocrystalline, and the anthropomorphic output over time drops quicker and then tapers off for practically forever, but it's very little. By that time, it's very little. Where monocrystalline, it stays high longer and then dies. And same thing. And the poly one goes a little bit longer, and which the polycrystalline is the best one to have. It has a longer life and everything else on it. Actually, and I don't know if you've heard me talk about Reed from Man. His house is he has totally solar on his house. He's down there in New Mexico. Trying to pull it up. Okay, hang on. That changed. Okay. Oh, that changed. Okay. I'm looking at my thing here. Here we go. He was using the Renology or whatever how to pronounce it, and he switched to Rich Solar. And these are actually cheaper than the Renology ones, which used to be the cheapest ones out there. And so I bring it up here. So this is a 100-watt panel for $93. Has a built-in up in that box there. Has a built-in. Okay, I'm trying to remember what it's called. Basically, it keeps the electricity from flowing backwards.
Okay.
So so basically, like the panels, they don't have that little doohickey in there. At night, they glow because they're drawing from the batteries and putting the energy back out, so the panels glow at night. So this keeps keep it from drawing power off the batteries.
Yeah, kind of like what Tennessee was saying earlier about the controller and all that.
Yeah. So if anybody's interested in this, there it is in the link. I mean, in the chat. And did it go to all three? Hey, it went to YouTube. It goes. It only. It did. It kicked it. Facebook kicked it out, so it didn't want me to like it being posted to Facebook chat side. I love the way half the time Facebook kicks the links I post on this out.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, this is one of the good deals to get, and it's just one thing it might help you out.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah, when you consider, when I went to scout camp, I would take a 100-watt solar panel up there to recharge my my little Goal Zero battery, solar. That's not a solar generator because it's not a generator. It's a battery pack.
Yeah.
Power station. And there were two of us up there running our CPAPs off of it, and it kept it charged up enough to go all week that we still had half a charge at the end of the week with both of us using our CPAPs.
That's nice.
So, yeah. And the thing is, so we're up at scout camp, which means there's a lot of trees around. So, okay, all right, this time in the morning, I can aim between these two trees, aim it to catch sun for an hour. I got to move it over here, got to move it over there and aim it that, So yeah, there was a lot of chasing the sun, and it still did that.
That's one thing Courtney has talked about, doing some solar for the house and stuff eventually and stuff. I said that we have to cut down the maple tree because it's on the south side of the house.
All right, here's the thing. You don't have to put it near the house.
Yeah, I like it better when it's on the back side of the roof where nobody can see it.
Yeah. The thing is though, the barn, anything shading the south side of the barn?
The roof faces north, or the roof is east.
Line runs north to south, so you got east and west facing. Any other buildings that have a south facing roof?
Yeah, no. No. But
well,
the tree has been dying for like 50 years, so eventually I am going to have to cut it down. But it's like one of those things. Like her grandpa, like 20 years ago, was like trying to save the tree. And
right.
It's still alive. It's still fine. It's just like it has some dead limbs and stuff in it. Like,
yeah, it needs it needs an arborist to come in and look at it. And
I think at this point, it's pretty much. It's the one side of the tree. There's like no bark on it. It just looks dead. But the tree's full of leaves and everything. But there's like a few. I need to get up in there and actually cut some of the dead out of it.
Yeah. Because that'll get more disease into the tree if you don't.
Yeah, I mean the thing's been dead for I don't know how many years. There used to be 2 of them out there, I guess, and the other one did die.
Yeah, because what some people have done, rather than putting it on the house, they'll set up they'll set up like on the barn or on the chicken coop. They'll put solar panels out there, and then coming off the solar panels, they'll have an insulated box with the batteries in it. Because DC current loses power, voltage, amperage, everything as the more distance it travels.
Yeah.
Alternating current does not so much. So what they'll do is they'll put their remote locate their panels with the battery bank there, have their inverter converting it to the 110 and run that, or 220 if they have the big inverters, and run that to the house.
Yeah.
And if you do that, you want to really oversize your cable. So if they say, if an electrician says, "Oh, you're running from here to here," well, you're going to need 8-gauge wire. Use 6 or 4-gauge wire.
What?
Yeah, basically, instead of using wire half the size, using the wire the size of
about the size of this water bottle here.
No, instead of using about the size of a pin, use wire the size of your finger, because the distance, electricity, resistance in the distance kills off the amount you're going to get at the end.
Yeah.
But the bigger it is, the less resistance. Which is why if you're using like 100-foot extension cord on a leaf blower,
you get the thinnest cord you can find because it's cheap, right?
only if you want to be able to grab that wire and go, "Ow, it's hot." Yeah. And so, so you want, like, for my battery box that I built for my solar system, the wire I'm using on it is 2-aught wire. So
oh, it's the big freeze. No. Hopefully, it makes it back. Yeah, eventually, I want I'm going to put a small pond out back.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I hear you now. Yep.
Okay, I'm frozen. I'm going to unplug my mic for a second. I'm going to disappear. Unplug my camera. I'm going to disappear, and I'm going to come back in because it killed both my camera and my mic.
Okay.
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, so I use I step my stuff down. So on the far batteries, I use the number 4 for part of the battery. I'll step it up to the number 2 cable size. All right. Good night, Howdy Garden. And so on all the main voltage going up to the inverter, I use number 2 cable and stuff because there's so much less voltage drop. There's less resistance.
Yeah.
I have never gotten, once I started using the number 2 cable, I've never gotten it warm. Even the number 4 cable never got warm. The number 6 cable never got warm. But I figure, hey, it's still, you're doing the math and everything. It's like, if I'm in in a grid down situation, I want to keep every ampere, every volt, every ion of electricity, as much as I can without losing any.
Yeah, I know a little bit about that.
I didn't see Gear come in.
He popped in when you were frozen.
Okay, hi Gear.
Yeah, I know a little bit about the wire, the drop and stuff like that, because from when I was younger, running car stereos and stuff, he was running some big wire for my amplifiers.
Yeah. And so but these guys will set up their everything. Put even like if they have a heated barn for the pigs or the animal, anything is heated, they'll put the battery bank in there for the winter time. So because it's heated, it won't the batteries won't freeze up, and then they'll just run the 2-watt wire from that to the house with the AC.
Yeah, eventually I've watched some videos on it. Eventually, when I put in my pond out back, I want to put a pump in it, like with like a fountain, like in the center of it, like a floating fountain or whatever, just to keep the water circulating, because it's not going to be a very big pond.
Right.
And I looked in the solar options for that and thing. It's basically what you're saying, to build insulated box, solar panel on top, controller to run everything, and then you could, if you had enough space inside of it, make the box a little oversized. You run a incandescent light bulb in there in the winter time.
Keep it warm.
Keep it warm inside there for your batteries.
Yeah. What's interesting, we actually, we were living on the north rim of the Grand Canyon from my senior year, for that's 73 through fall 73 to spring 75. The 2 winters there, we actually kept my mom's fig tree alive because we got 3 feet of snow, one night one year. So we had bales of hay piled up all around, and we had the south facing side had the heavy duty visqueen plastic going over, so it'd warm up from the sun a little bit during that. But we had several 100-watt light bulbs in there, and that kept the tree alive and everything else alive. But when we were trying later on here in Martinez, after I got married, my wife had a jade plant out front, and she was throwing sheets over. Oh, that'll protect it. It nearly died. A lot of it died back when we had a cold snap. Yeah. After that, I pulled out the old Christmas tree lights, not the incandescent C7 like the nightlight size or the other ones, but the minis, the incandescent minis, and we strung those out on it. Never froze after. So with that underneath the sheets, never froze again.
Yeah, that'll do.
Hey, Aiden here. How's it going?
I got these. They're LED light bulbs, but they're like the Edison style. That you can looks like they have like the wire inside of them, so it looks like an old style light bulb. Those things get so damn hot, you'll break a sweat standing underneath of them. That's most LED bulbs. I mean, they do, some generate heat like that you noticeably feel, but for the most part, they run cooler. These light bulbs, man, you're sweating standing underneath them. They came with the lights that I bought for the bathroom, and I changed them out. I'm like, that's ridiculous. It's like having the heater on in there. In the wintertime, I might put them back in.
Yeah. All right, I gotta shout this out here. Yesterday, Aiden Neer put out a video, and it here's the link to the video that Aiden Neer put out yesterday, and this is so. Make sure I got it right. Oh, no, wrong one. Didn't take it right. Come on. Control C. There we go. Try it again. Over here. Yeah, there, now the link's going. This is something real cool he has over where he's at. It's sort of like it's canned meals in these tins. Let me go back to the beginning of the video here. And there we go.
It is crazy.
Here.
Crazy.
There we go. And so you see the can, and then off on the side here you see what's in it, and it shows turns it over and shows the ingredients and everything on it. Oh, it has its Best By day. So, but yeah, I mean, this still. All the different flavors he went through, listed off a whole bunch of them. It's like this is perfect for your prepper pantry storage.
Yeah, that'd be good for a hiking trip, camping trip, overnight camping. Something it looks good.
Yeah, I mean it's. Let me go in here. Okay, so he popped the lid off there, and so to see the whole video. There's the link. Check it out, and I'm not going to show the whole thing. So that's your sneak peek. Go check out.
Yeah, that's different. I've never seen anything like that before.
Yeah,
actually looked good. It didn't.
I know. I was watching the videos, like, damn, I wish they sold that here. Camera twisted on me a little bit. There we go. Get me centered again. But yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, sometimes other countries have the most amazing stuff, and yet it doesn't, nothing similar to it here in the U.S. The closest thing similar to anything like that is now some of these Hormel, meals in these trays that you can toss in the microwave. This you don't have to toss in the microwave. And if you need to heat it up, it's in a metal can. Guess what you can do? You can put it on the coals.
Yeah. Just make sure you open it first.
Yeah, you open the top up, you put it on there.
Ooh.
Yeah. And you can heat it up. It's almost like to me, when I first saw that, the thing that popped in the first part of the video, what popped in my mind was the frozen pot pies.
Yeah.
But this doesn't have to be kept frozen. It's sealed in the can. It's good.
Yeah, that's
and so I mean, it's just like, I was thinking, okay, now how much would shipping be to get it shipped over here? Probably too much.
Yeah.
And the company that made that has been around since the 1800s. So the company's been around for a long time.
I just had some 3-year-old pickles with my dinner in Tennessee. They weren't too bad.
When you say cracked, you mean cracked open and opened one up, right? Tennessee. Onion, mushrooms, garlic, salt and pepper. So when you raw packed it, it cooked it in the thing. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's something I got, right now I got so much crap going on right now. I got my my mom's pressure cooker all repaired and everything set up, ready to do some stuff. And now I'm spending so much friggin' time outside working because, hey, it's May. Usually here in May, we have snow on the ground still, or we get a snowstorm and we have lots of frost. No, it's been 70, high 70s out here. It's been, the soil's just saying, we got weeds growing, we got grass going. You need to come out and take care of us, or you're going to be overrun. And it's like, dang.
Yeah, we had a good rain like 2 days in a row, and I went out to the garden, and I had to. If it was good tomatoes, I would have saved some of them, but I had to pull. I bet it was 500 tomato plants where I had my cherry tomatoes last year. They would they'd fall off and crack open. They would crack open and fall. And they didn't taste very good, so I didn't really mind. I didn't really worry about them too much. Well, man, those things all popped up over those 2 days of rain. I mean, there was 500, if not 1,000. They were everywhere. In this one corner, I had to pull them all
out. Probably the best tasting cherry tomato I ever had was once I got up here, and it should be still good for your zone too. I talked about them last year on my videos and about it. It's they're orange sun. Oh crap, can't think of it now.
Sun Gold.
I don't think it's not Sun Gold, but it's orange sun something or other cherry tomatoes. The grandkids all loved them. I usually don't like cherry tomatoes, but I was out there eating them by the handful as well. And I'm waiting to see if any of them come back up in the containers. I had them in half 55-gallon barrels, and I'm waiting to see if any of them come up. And so, actually, guys, tell me, I'm going to leave Dustin in charge for about 30 seconds while I run grab the package. Talk about whatever's on the side chat.
Yeah, I'm growing Sun Gold right now. That's one of the cherry tomato. I grew the Sun Gold and the Brad's Atomic for cherries this year. I wasn't really going to grow any, and then I decided, oh, heck with it, and decided to grow those. Because Brad's Atomic are good, but I had a problem with those cracking easily, too. As soon as they would start to get ripe, then it would rain or something, and they would all crack. I can't remember the name of the paste tomato we're growing. I can't remember off the. Oh, your Brad's Atomic didn't make it. They're delicious tomatoes. Those Brad's Atomic grape, they're really good.
See if I can get the focus on it.
Is it the Sun Sugar?
Sun Sugar hybrid.
Okay.
Orange cherry tomato. Great crack resistance with thin skin. Intermediate vine.
Indeterminate.
Indeterminate. Sorry, I need to clean my glasses off here. There we go. Indeterminate vine with good disease resistance. Germination rate is listed at 98%. And so, yeah, so 62 days on it. So, yeah, that's what I paid for it. It had 15 seeds in it, and I still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seeds in there. So,
oh, cool. Yeah, I agree with you, Tennessee. They were good, but it was just, and the plants got big, they were loaded, but it's like as soon as you okay, it's not ripe yet. As soon as because the color of them, it's hard to tell when they're ripe for one, because they have so many different colors on them. They're like striped, and then when you finally get them ripe, it's like that's when they start cracking. It just pain in the ass. But the Sun Gold though they're pretty good. I like those.
Yeah, these Sun Sugar ones are very sweet.
Yeah, it's a similar tomato. There's probably a little bit sweeter, maybe, the Sun Sugar.
Yeah. And it says climate tested for eastern Idaho, which puts it at the 5A and 5B zones.
Yeah, good night, Joe.
Night, Joe. Yeah, have to wake up in 4 hours. Yeah, good night, Joe. I appreciate your being here, but good night, Joe.
Yeah.
Unless, of course, he could have been working there doing the paperwork stuff that he does while he's watching videos.
Yeah, you're right. Starting seeds until they get a foot tall. That's the truth. I planted some. I think what happened. I really believe that now. I think that maybe those starts that we got from that greenhouse that Court's mom bought actually had eggs on them or something, because those are the main ones that got chopped by the hornworm or whatever the heck it is. Yeah, I went out there with the black light and I couldn't find anything, but either way, whatever clipped them, uh, I'd say was probably a hornworm. But uh, they I told my mother-in-law, I said, don't, just hold on a minute, because they're not, all there is a little stump sticking out of the ground about that high, and they're coming back. So I told her, just relax. You don't have to buy any more yet. We'll see if they come back, because they'll grow fast now that the weather's getting warm.
Yeah. One of the things my wife does is, she mothers me. My wife mothers me. Then my wife does is she plants the borage near the tomatoes.
Yeah.
And the first year I planted tomatoes out here in the tubs, I planted a borage with each tomato. Actually, a borage with every other tomato. So there was enough, but I had 0 tomato hornworms out there. And even the white cabbage moths that were floating around, get over near that, and they'd smell that borage and take off the other direction. Borage, actually, I like the smell of it. The flowers, when they're blooming, it smells nice. The bees love it.
Love it. Yeah, they get like high off of that stuff, man.
Yeah.
I actually, Court yelled at me today because I pulled some borage out of the bed. I was pulling weeds, and I pulled some that was coming back from last year. Not really intentionally. I realized what it was after I pulled it, but it was growing in a bad place.
Yeah. Well, it transplants fairly easy.
Yeah.
If you keep the ground moist, it survives.
Yeah, I just pulled it and threw it. But yeah.
Yeah. That is the one thing borage does do too, is that if you don't pull it before it drops seeds, you'll have a whole bunch of volunteers.
Oh, yeah. That's why if I see any more out there. Oh, that's cool.
Tennessee, on the hornworm, if you're doing it hydroponic, it's going to be a little bit harder for them to get at it, because what happens is the moth comes around, finds the tomato plant, and lays the seed, the larvae, whatever, in the soil, and it goes through its pupa larvae stage and everything else, and the worm comes out and then it starts going to work. Well, there's no soil there for it to be laid in. It shouldn't get to you.
I didn't know hornworms came from the soil.
Yeah, the tomato hornworm moth. Let me show you a picture of that bad boy.
Yeah, we grew a bunch of borage one year, and Courtney was excited to try that, and she goes, "What the hell? This isn't worth it." The little tiny flowers on the borage. We like to grow it for the bees, but as far as her making tea with it, she wasn't impressed.
Okay, here we go. Images. Boom, boom. Yes. Yeah. So, that's the most common ones. Look how big it is compared to the hand.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, and they lay their young in the soil near the base of a tomato plant. And then
I had to deal with them one time, like 2 years ago, and then we haven't had any until this year. But it might not be.
What the heck is on the back of that hornworm?
What is that? Something lays its eggs on the hornworm, I think.
Hawk moth. Yeah. Yeah, a predator of the hornworm.
Yeah.
Yay! There's a predator.
Yeah.
Yes, you can make tea and a bunch of other things as well. With the tea, you don't want to drink too much of it. Borage tea is, I'm going to mispronounce the word, medicinal.
Yeah, it does. It does
And
something.
so you don't. It's like you don't. It's like you don't take too much aspirin. You don't drink too much of the borage tea. I was talking to several people, and they laid me. They said, "All right, go to this one here. This is the one." Explain. I can't remember what video that was. That was years ago. And there was someone that talks about the different percentages and how much you can and can't use and strength. But yeah.
Ooh, yeah. There's another.
There we go. Oxalate high.
Yeah. Tennessee or Gear might know, but there's another bug out there that clips plants like that, like just clips them down. Because this really isn't eating them. It literally is like it's like something. It's like you took a pair of scissors and went and cut the limb off of the tomato plant, and the next night another piece was off. And I can't remember what that is.
Almost sounds like leafcutter ants.
It's not, because they don't take it.
Yeah.
And the only ants that we have in the garden have always just been beneficial. They've never eaten anything in the garden. So I don't mess with, like some people get all worried when they have ants. We don't. Luckily, the kind of ants that we have, they are coexisting with our garden, and they're not. They've actually pollinated. I can't remember. It was the loofah gourds. The ants loved them. The ants would be in and out of the blooms of those things.
Yeah. Do the ants you have, do they farm aphids?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want that.
You don't want the ones that farm aphids. No.
No. Yeah, we've never. Knock on wood. Aphids ain't been a problem. Aphids have not been a problem. It's been cucumber beetles, squash bugs, cutworm. That's what it's.
Yeah, but the cutworm usually does it at just about within an inch of ground level.
Well, that's where they're at now.
Yeah. I mean, that's what they don't. Cutworms usually don't climb up and cut. They start chewing at the bottom. They just as they suck out the juices from the tomato plants and the other plants. They just go around. They just chew at the base there, and yeah.
I'm almost thinking that is what it is, because these plants weren't very big. They were only about yay high.
Yeah.
I'm almost thinking it was cutworm, because that's what it did. It took them down to about this high, then it stopped, and now they're starting to grow back. And it seems like we spray with the garlic tea. You like take a jar and put the garlic in it, or the garlic or the chives or something like that in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But we spray that on there, and it seems to help. Whatever it is deterred by that smell. It like either covers up the smell of the tomatoes so they don't get attacked, or it actually deters. We also mulched. Courtney trimmed the onion tops today, and she stacked, like basically mulched the tomatoes with the onion tops. Put those around the bottom, so that's the smell of all that stuff will help mask my tomatoes. Because I can't trap cutworms. I can trap raccoons, but I can't trap cutworms.
Yeah. Yeah. So those type moths are
Yeah, that makes more sense too, because there could be little eggs like that, because those are obviously on the leaf.
The eggs on the leaves, or the pupa in the soil.
Yeah.
We used to have a grand old time as kids, going through the garden, picking up all these cutworms and feeding them to the chickens. You get like a soup can full of the worms, and go out to the chicken run, toss one out, watch the chickens fight over it, and then toss another one out.
When I worked at the sawmill, we cut open a rotten log, man. Talk about, I don't know what kind of we just called them grubs. I don't know what
white
they
grubs.
Were. Oh my gosh, they were bigger than my thumb.
Yeah,
they were huge. you'd pick them up and wing them, throw them at the guy across the belt, smack him in the head with a giant grub, and the thing would blow up.
I haven't seen big grub worms like that since I was in Arizona, because we were right on the edge of the Kaibab forest.
I'll tell you what. If you want to teach someone the value of a hard day's work, go work at a sawmill. I'm glad I did it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yesterday, man, last night when I came in yesterday afternoon for one of my breaks, I took 3 200 whatever gram ibuprofens. And then when I came in at nighttime to go to bed, I took 6. I was hurting so bad yesterday. Yeah. Shoveling, I started by, shoveling, raking all the leaves down to the one end, got most of them out. Then I had to pickaxe. I did something because that irrigation ditch is not a straight, smooth ditch. I don't know why, but the water will go along, and all it takes is just one root of a plant or something, and it starts to do turbulence, and all of a sudden it'll eat out this side of the ditch, and rolls over, eats out that side, and all of a sudden it creates a whirlpool and digs a little hole in. It's like, so I had to get it kind of straight and leveled out there so I could lay that pipe.
Yeah.
And then on the tractor work is not as easy as you think, especially when it's a small tractor.
Yeah. Even the Kubota we got, like my Kubota is a little bit bigger than your Coyote. Yeah. It's you're on it for a while. You're on it.
Well, I was an operating engineer for 15 years, and the one piece of equipment that hurt me the most was the 966 Caterpillar rubber-tired articulating loader. Those are the ones that, those are the big ones. Actually, let me. Cat 966 loader.
I've seen many of them. I drove dump trucks for 10 years.
Yeah. These boys, the ones that steer in the middle. All right. The rear axle pivots a little bit. That front axle is rigid, rock hard. It don't pivot. It don't move. And if you're not on a smooth surface, you feel it. The seatbelt in it is about that wide. It's a wide seatbelt. And I was working on a pile similar to that, only the whole field of asphalt, trying to clean it up and everything else. And you're bouncing around. Every time you hit a little piece of asphalt, it just it throws the whole machine sideways a little bit. And trying to clean it up and everything, because you couldn't dig down. The owner of the property didn't want you digging in.
Yeah.
But we were trying to scrape it clean and stuff about digging in. And every now and then you'd miss a piece of asphalt would slip underneath the bucket or come over the top, and you hit it. Oh man! Okay, sometimes I felt like I was riding a mechanical bull.
Yeah, I used to run forklift too, and it wasn't on paved; it was on gravel.
There is no suspension at all on a forklift.
Just all the way across the lot, just beat the crap right out of you.
Oh yeah. Oh man, just unbelievable. A forklift on gravel. Oh geez.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I wish I had the photos. Someone took some pictures and gave me the old printed out pictures. On the one, because on the loader, you have your steering wheel and they have what's called the Necker's knob on it, so you can grab and you can steer. All right. On the right side, your arm lift here is the loader bucket control, raised, lowered, and dump controls. That was over here. It got so bad that I got an extra seat belt from the lube truck driver and wrapped it around and just bolted the ends together and wrapped it around. So I had it around my one arm that was over there and had my arms almost tied down to the armrest so I could do the controls. I had my other foot up on the dash, and I'm steering, and my other one's running the throttle and brake, and I'm just bouncing around.
Yeah.
Like on a mechanical bull trying to stay on. And the guy had a couple pictures of me. He wished he didn't have a video camera back then. But yeah, it would have been, if you had a video camera, it would have been great. Oh yeah. That's why I tied my arm down and the seat down and stuff to keep me from getting. Oh man, it was just And then of course the owner would call, faster! Get this clean house. Clean up. It's like, Mike, get your motor grader out here and you can motor grade this for me.
Yeah, man. I driving an R model Mac 6-axle on job sites, man. Sometimes you'd hit a hole or something.
Oh,
there ain't much cab room in them things, man. A few times I thought I was going unconscious. It hit my head on the roof of that thing so hard.
Oh yeah.
Boom. You're like, oh my God. It's like, oh, it's terrible. And you're going slow as you can't, you're just creeping through.
Yeah.
And you just hit the right thing and it's like, whoo.
Yeah. A friend of mine who was 3 days younger than me. No, sorry, 3 days older. He was born on the 23rd. I was born on the 26th. Same year. Was one of the operators with the company too, and he picked up a 1941. Shoot, can't remember. Peterbilt. The serial number on it was 00012. They started out at 00010. So he had the third one built, and he thought he had like the 12th, the 13th one built, whatever. Anyways, it was a chain drive Peterbilt.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm coming off the motor, going back to a differential that was bolted solid to the frame. Off that differential came out like an axle, had sprockets on it, and it had chains from that back to the steel hub drum and everything else that had the sprocket on it. So each side was on it, so you had your brakes, and your brake drum had this sprocket on there for the chain. And yeah, it was originally used for it was built to be a logging truck. And you want to talk, there was practically absolutely zero suspension in the rear end. The front had some springs and stuff, but the back was nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we took that thing off road a little one time to see how it do on hills and stuff. We got halfway done for a trip and took a shortcut back and said, never again.
Yeah. Friggin' equipment will beat you up, man.
Oh yeah.
The place I rode forklift at, there was one building that was real small. That's where we had to put all the mortar in there, the cement mortar and stuff. And the only machine that would fit in there was this little tiny forklift that was so old, it didn't even have a safety cage on it. Okay? It was like literally you were just sitting there with no roof, nothing.
I've driven a couple of those.
Yeah. It's like OSHA would have loved the hell out of that thing. It was like, and by the way, it had to be small to get in that building, right? I'm picking up skids. I don't know how many bags of mortars on there, but a lot, You'd pick it up and you'd feel the back wheels bouncing.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, man.
It's like, hey, somebody get on the back of this for counterweight.
Yeah. It's like, this might not be OSHA approved, guys.
Yeah. We were doing one construction job, same company. We were doing a water pipeline in Walnut Creek, California, and they had to do a bore from down on Main Street up the over the several blocks over, and then Interstate 680 was there, 5 lanes each direction. under that, and then the bore had to, after it got to a point, they had to turn, they turned the bore to come up, and they went like another quarter mile before they were able to do a bore pit to receive it. And so we were putting in pipe, 88-inch pipe. I think it was 88-inch pipe, not quite 8 foot. Or was it? Yeah, 88-inch pipe. And anyways, they had what's called a mucker. Think of a coal mine. You see things in the coal mine, these real low-riding loaders. The guy's sitting with his butt about 2 inches off the ground, and he's reclined back like this, and they're in a coal mine type. It was one of those type things with a bucket. And so they were going in, and it was a small one that would just fit inside the pipe. And they would go if there were any problems, groundwater and stuff. After they bore, they were putting the pipe in. Every now and then they had to go in there and muck some stuff. And go, so mucking all this crap out. Well, the owner of the company came out. Now, Mike is a blade man and a dozer man and an excavator. Put him on a blade man. He can cut you a glass pad. So he hopped on there and goes, let me show you how to do this. He gets on there, starts doing stuff, and loses control of it. Up on the bank. He goes down into the pit, and he's trying to hit the brakes, and goes into it, and realizes at the last second, and lays over just in time for the pipe to go along and go, bink.
Oh, wow. Well, took his head clean off.
Almost, man. He had a big old. He would have had a big scar on there. They saw it was a big old gash, skin peeled back. They're sent him to the hospital, and his son was there, who was one of the superintendents. Got on the phone to the office, said, "Get a plastic surgeon down there to meet him at the hospital. The best one you." They flew a plastic surgeon from San Francisco, a helicopter, over to Walnut Creek.
Yeah.
But that's the kind of money Mike had at that time.
Yeah.
And it's like, he gotta go. And he came back out 3 weeks later. He's back out on the job site and stuff. My friend Gary, who's 3 days older than I am, was in a mood, and he goes, and Mike yelled at him, and Gary turned around and goes, "Mike, you want to get back on the mucker?"
Oh boy!
Everything stopped on the job site.
I bet.
Yelled at him, and it was like, oh crap! Mike looks at him. He goes, "Point taken. You go back to what you were doing."
Yeah.
Oh, one of the first times I've never seen Mike not retaliate back when someone got it back in his face. Of course, these guys have been working each other since they were all operators. For 20 years or so, they all knew each other. All been pulling pranks on each other and stuff. So yeah. Okay, what we got here? What's Tennessee going on about here? Oh, paint shop, spray booth, no filtration. Oh man, yes. Oh,
it's funny, when we lived in Akron, like the houses were close together. Like you had your house, your driveway was on one side, and the neighbor's driveway was on the other. You really had no side yard at all.
Right.
Okay? The neighbor on my one side was doing body work and painting cars in his garage. Okay, no, just a regular hillbilly setup, which you can do that. Okay, but he's living in town, right? The neighbor's trees were dying. The whole trees were just dead that were against his side by the garage. It's like, you got to be kidding me. Like a couple times, people called the fire department because I don't know what chemical he was using in there. It was so strong that it was like hard. You couldn't go outside. And somebody called the fire department. And all these fire trucks are pulling up and everything. I'm just like, oh man.
Yeah. Yeah, reminds me of my uncle and my dad when I was a wee little lad, watching them wash their hands in gasoline after working on something, a car getting all greasy, and then washing their hands in gasoline. Oh, oh. Nowadays, it's like, oh crap! How did you guys live as long as you did?
Yeah, that's the way. When you're younger, that's the way we was taught to get that stuff off your hands.
Yeah.
A little gasoline on there, clean you right up. Cord will tell you the story. Her grandpa kept a coffee can with gas in it to clean his hands.
Yeah.
That's
Tennessee. The only mine I was ever in was actually shut down, and they didn't, close it off. It was in West Virginia, and we were out there a bunch of us. Oh, let me give you a tour of the place where I used to work. And I go wandering in with flashlights and stuff, and it's like, after a while, it's like, shouldn't we be getting out of here? Oh, no, it's perfectly safe. And then we started hearing a little rumble in the creek, and he goes, all right, let's turn around. Like, yeah.
I still use brake cleaner to clean my hands. Burns like hell. Don't get it on your face.
Especially if you're using the brake cleaner that had the 1.1.1. YouTube doesn't even want me to say it. 1.1.1 triethylchlorine something or other. That stuff is nasty shit.
And don't burn your hands, but you get it on your face, you know it. I'll tell you that. Woo.
Well, put it this way: this stuff now has, when I was working construction there with the guys, I was in the shop for a summer, and they were using it and stuff. And go, man, what is this? It was bad. And some of those guys, it ain't that bad. I found the materials data safety sheet for it. Holy shit! I walked over to the shop superintendent. Go, have you seen what? I showed it to him. He looked at it. And he goes, shit! Stop using that crap now. We're not ventilated for that shit.
Yeah, ventilation.
Yeah, and he immediately got onto on the phone to the company that brought us all of our supplies, Safety Clean, and goes, hey, you got brought this stuff? Yeah, the guy said to get that particular one. He goes, don't you ever, never, ever, ever, absolutely never. I'll burn you in hell myself if you bring some more again.
Wow.
Yeah, and he goes, told him what it was in there. Hey, Jimmy Pickles, Prepper Channel, woohoo!
It's like washing your dump truck, like washing the bed of your dump truck with sulfuric acid. Ain't nothing like breathing in some sulfuric acid.
Oh yeah,
really clears the sinuses.
But yeah, that's, to this day, if someone uses anything that has that 1.11, triethylchloroquine, if they used it within 48 hours in a room, I can walk in a room and tell you they used it. Because my sinuses start to burn, my tongue gets all like I got 3 days of old cheese on it, thick. It's just like, yeah. And the taste is in my mouth, and it's just nasty because of the 1 week those guys were using that crap in there. And yeah, so they went to some other stuff, and the guys said, this doesn't take it off as good. Yeah, it's not killing you either.
Just wash your hands with it.
No, it's like, well, you're supposed to spray it and let it sit for 15 minutes. Not spray and wipe it off before it dissolves the brake drum.
They didn't have nice Tennessee. Yeah, it's like they did. OSHA, what's that? Like when they OSHA shows up, they're like, "Get the hell off my property."
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The place I worked at was like that at first, but then OSHA showed up, and suddenly they had to have cabinets for flammables and all this stuff.
Yeah, the first construction company I worked for, their shop was in an old barn, and it was a broken down barn, and where they basically they had brought in a bunch of riprap, laid it down in front of the barn. First they dug it out, laid the riprap down. Then they brought in, 12-inch riprap. Then they brought in some smaller riprap. Then they brought in 1.5 inch gravel and laid it down. And that's where they cleaned off the equipment at. And they had a kerosene-fired steam cleaner to clean the equipment. And
those are nice.
They had no pollution control at all. But where they had all that riprap, all the grease and stuff off the backhoes and loaders and stuff would filter down in there. And when the company got to the point, the partners, it had been about 10, 15 years. We had long gone from them, but we kept an eye on them. They got to the point where the one wanted to retire and the other one wanted to buy him out. And so basically they dissolved the company, and the other guy formed the company and bought the equipment and everything else, all this legal gray bookkeeping and stuff. And when they sold they sold the property to a holding company they had, and that sold it that put it up for sale, and that holding company went bankrupt and out of business. People that bought the housing developer that bought the property, because it was on a little hillside, there's some pads here and there. They were going to put apartments and stuff up in there. They were up in there and they were having some soil testing done for stability and stuff. And they got up to that cleaning pad where the pit was. The company did some tests. Oh shit! We heard that they called OSHA and the EPA that day.
Well, I bet.
And when they came out there, and they said, "Oh, this company we bought it from this company. Oh, they're bankrupt. They're not in existence. Oh, this other company, it's dissolved. It's gone."
Yeah, they knew what they was doing.
They knew what they were doing. They were saving money and contaminating the soil. And yeah, I spent like 3 weeks with excavators out there, just hauling the stuff off to an incinerator site for the soil to be incinerated and cleaned. They had trucks going in and out of there constantly, just hauling dirt out.
One place I used to work at, we had like those big fuel things, it was almost like on a 2-wheel dolly, like you would take, fill it up and you'd have to lift it up with the forklift to put fuel in or whatever. Sent a new guy to go. I needed gas. The forklifts were actually gas powered, or the one was. The big one I had was gas powered. And sent him down to get gas. He filled it up with diesel. Okay. But here I am, fill up my forklift, and the thing just starts running really funny. Yeah. If they ever do a soil test at that place, they're going to find about 30 gallons of diesel fuel.
Yeah.
There's conveniently in the bottom of a forklift fuel tank, there's a big drain plug.
Yeah. All right, push it over here, drain it.
Yeah. See, they ain't ever going to build any apartments there. This was next door to a military junkyard, like a junkyard kind of.
Yeah.
Where, like, they have like Vietnam era stuff, like all kinds of just lined up. You buy stuff like that there, and they're actually people were getting people that lived in the area, because it's out in the country kind of. They were getting diseases that came from Agent Orange because of runoff. All the vehicles, and they had tanks lined up, and it's stuff just sitting there in the rain, and there must have been enough residue over the years for it to get into the groundwater. I never drank the well water.
Yeah.
What's crazy is the other place, before they moved to this building, the old building they were at, across the street was the old dump. And once a month, somebody came around with a golf cart and tested everybody's well on the road. And they always said, "Oh, they're good. They're safe. Why are you testing them?" Once a month. There's something. I'm like, I ain't drinking that dump water.
Yeah.
No, not drinking dump water.
Yeah. Wow. Just trying to catch up on the side chat there. Yeah, there's and that's one of the things nowadays, especially with our kids and stuff, if we're prepping for a disaster, we want to make sure we're storing the clean chemicals in our garages.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, all right. You remind me of something here. Back in the '60s, in my parents' place, we had two. Trying to remember the type of apricots they were. 2 apricot trees and an apple tree, and then they were between the driveway. It was an 1.25 acre lot. So from the driveway, we had the 3 trees, and we had the front yard, and between was an area about 20 foot wide that my grandmother was using as a garden. And we got inundated with gophers. My uncle worked at Shell Oil in Martinez.
Oh.
Yeah. And he brought home this little metal can about the size of, can't see it now. My invisible glass here.
The size of that invisible glass.
Stainless steel with a little small lid on the top. So it came up and it came in one of those little small lids you gently pour something out of. And the label was conveniently missing. And he'd come over and he'd put on these gloves and get cotton balls out, take the lid off, go whoop, whoop, the cotton ball, shake the cotton ball back into the lid, into the opening, and toss it down a gopher hole. And he'd do 3 of those down the gopher hole and bury it up. Then you go over to another gopher hole, dig it open until you got the opening, do the same thing at that one. Usually the gophers were around the apple tree and into the garden. They didn't go too much around the apricot trees. I don't know what the heck that stuff was, but he tossed it probably about about 4 or 5 of the gopher holes, tossed 3 cotton balls in each one. The next morning, there were no new gopher mounds. No plants were eaten. And so, all the gophers were dead.
Mm.
And for about a month, then more gophers came in. And he'd repeat it. Nowadays, I am glad I didn't like the variety of apple tree that was. It was one that it was quote ripe when on the top of the apple around the stem was still a little green and red on the side and green on the bottom. Those were considered ripe. I didn't like those. I still worry about all the apricots I ate off the apricot tree.
Yeah, you're still kicking. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
I get you there.
Man,
I learned
just scary shit that he was putting in the ground.
Yeah.
To kill
it. I learned something today that it doesn't affect you much, I don't think, Gil, but I learned how they make synthetic caffeine. That's not good.
I just had a thought. Okay. There are the water packets you use to flavor the waters and stuff. Crystal Light and all the imitation ones that came after it.
Yeah.
Walmart, cheap ones. Walmart had some energy ones.
Yeah.
They'll have like the grape, the strawberry, some of the others that were loaded with caffeine. Like the one for you fill it, put it in 8-ounce bottles, like 3 cups of coffee. So you got They're probably using that imitation caffeine in that.
Well, they're using it in a lot of things. Like when you look at the amount of, like, just say Coca-Cola, where they were saying like every day there are over 7 million. No, I think it was over 7 billion Coca-Cola products sold across the world every day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You ain't getting all that from tea leaves.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. And
yeah, or trying to get it from the coffee plants,
Yeah, and no. It's not good. It's made from anybody. If there's anybody still awake in the chat besides Tennessee, he might already know.
Well, we got 9 people watching.
It's made from petroleum. Like the water bottle that we're drinking from, and computers made from, and it's
Hey, at least it's not made from that gland in the beaver's butt.
I think at least that's natural. I'd rather eat a beaver's ass than something made out of petroleum. I can get like my bottles made from petroleum. Yeah, I'm getting microplastics.
And those type bottles you just showed there, aren't made for long-term water storage.
Yeah.
After 3 months, that water ain't good for you anymore.
Yeah, freaking. It's just they were talking about that, and that actually is. I have to try to remember the name. The name of the book. It was a book that this guy put out. It was called like Blood Seed or Seed Blood or Seed Blood, I think is what it was called. But it was actually the only reason Monsanto exists is because of Coca-Cola. It is an interesting story. That because Coca-Cola went to Monsanto when they were a small company, like back in the day, and they asked them to synthesize caffeine because they couldn't keep up with the normal processes of producing caffeine.
Wow.
And that is what basically made Monsanto money.
Wow.
So they could do.
Yeah. And then they developed Roundup.
Yeah. But the bad thing is Roundup was what was supposed to be the good thing because it was replacing Agent Orange.
Well, here's one for you. You've heard of chlordane, right?
Yeah.
Chlordane, the insecticide and everything else like that. All right. My grandmother picked up back in the late 60s a gallon jug of chlordane. This is not the stuff you can still get chlordane today, but it's like 1% or 0.5%. This was like 25% chlordane. I mean, this stuff was intense, and you're supposed to mix it with like a cup to 5 gallons of water to use it. Well, the house that my grandmother was living in at the time was a conglomeration of little houses from Port Chicago and California. When they closed the Navy base down, they sold off all these little pieces, and they took 2 pieces up and built a house. Anyways, there was a water tower when they built all this thing together, and they took the water tank out of the water tower and finished, and it was closed in everything. But so that was the upstairs room and stuff. But I had a semi-flat roof on it. The beams for the roof were 8x8 beams, just laid across it every. Trying to figure about 16 inches apart. And anyways, and all there was on to keep critters out of there was just some chicken wire over the end, keep birds from making nests in there and stuff. Well, a bee swarm found it. Ooh, this is a nice place for us to build our hive. My first year, my grandmother didn't mind it. Second year, she didn't mind it. Third year, it got so big, the bees were just swarming around constantly. And my grandmother was born in 1899. Okay, this is in the early 70s. And she was one of these tough old biddies and stuff like that. She gets her little 2.5 gallon sprayer out, puts 4 cups of chlordane in it. and then fills, puts the water in it. And she's out there just spraying away. And of course,
Yeah.
I know the sprays got all over her too. But she's out there spraying away up and shooting the stream up into the bees and stuff to kill all the bees. The grass that used to grow underneath that spot was nice. No grass grew there for several years.
Yeah.
Well, I'm talking, all right, so we moved back in 75. By 80, there was still no grass growing there. Where it was dripping down, where she was spraying up there. And this is not a herbicide. This is an insecticide.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's like she still she didn't pass away until 1988. So she was 89 when she passed away. She didn't pass away from the chlordane. She was too tough with the chlordane, but the 12 packs of cigarettes a day got her, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, something tells, I mean, you think about some of these old people that could do shit like this and it didn't affect them. Yet, we got this the younger generations coming up here now, and they get a whiff of peanut butter.
Yeah.
Or they drink some milk, or they get some gluten in a slice of bread.
Yeah.
And they go, so between that generation and this 4 generations later,
hard times make hard people. Hard people make easy times.
Not only that, but between these 4 generations, maybe 5 generations of people here, what happened to the older generation and the crap they did, and then their kids were a little bit weakened from what they did as adults, and they still did the same shit too. Mm-hmm. And their kids were a little bit, it's like, we're practically, all the crap we did were, extinguishing ourselves. And then of course in the medical establishment comes in, we can make everybody live longer, and we can cure everything. So now you got all these people that would have been eliminated from the gene pool back 100 years ago because they wouldn't have survived, are now surviving and are passing on bad genes and stuff again.
Yeah, that's eventually there's going to be hard times again. And
hey, Jeremy's here. Tennessee Tactical 1.
Eventually something will happen to where we start over again, where you're either tough or you don't make it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's I mean, it's, I don't know. That gets into a whole nother story of preparedness and political awareness.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bushcrafter, I'll send you an email. I saw your message there. I'll shoot you an email later. So you got mine.
Yeah. So tomorrow I'm going to have to get with Joe or send Joe an email and say, all right, so what type of dwarf tomato plant would you recommend for growing indoor so I have tomatoes all through the winter?
Yeah, something with like I won't. That's smart to do a dwarf tomato. That way you don't have a tomato that's trying to grow 10 foot high in your living room.
Yeah. Well, I figure when it gets about 6.5 feet tall, then I start snipping at the top and I start bonsaiing it, and getting it to start doing stuff at the bottom again.
I'll tell you, I was pretty impressed with how well that orange hut tomato is that I have, how well it did. It just, the flavor isn't really all that great on them. They're good tomatoes because they're fresh, you know what I mean? But I'd like to try some other ones for the hydroponics. That way they don't get out of hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Tennessee. That's the truth of it.
Yeah, I'm just I may try an experiment this winter, a different one experiment. I got a couple of open 30-gallon open top barrels. You know, they got the lid goes on it. You got the ring that locks it down. I'm thinking if I can gather from some of the neighbors enough to fill that up, say a third of the way with cow pies. Dry, you know, get some of the dry ones and start cooking stuff.
Put some carrots in there.
Carrots.
You put that manure in the bottom, and then put that with soil. You'll grow a carrot as deep as that bucket is.
No, okay, that's something else. But what I was thinking about doing, you know, getting the stuff in the bottom and then filling it up with water.
Mm.
Now it's going to percolate, and what I was thinking about doing is on top of the manure, put some weed blocker in there, tuck it around, and because the water will still go through and everything else. Actually, no, let me try this to figure out a different way, maybe. But, you know, so some sort of like a little pump, water pump, little water pump, and like maybe one of those ones that runs on a AA battery, and just to circulate it every now and then, some water up, and use that for hydroponics. Because if you start it out with just, you know, with all the strong stuff at the bottom and let the roots get used to it and stuff, to the strength, so that, you know, because, you know, if a plant's roots will get used to it. It's like putting a frog in a pot of water on the stove. Yeah. As it gets hotter, it gets used to it. Well, it can get used to it, and then I just every now and then you stir it up just a little bit to get the stuff mixing up.
Yeah, just like one of those little bubblers like you use in your minnow bucket or something.
Yeah, something to get the water to move around. Yeah, an air bubbler will probably work too. Just drop down, just let air bubble up. That might, without you, that way I wouldn't have to buy any of the chemical nutrients and stuff. You know, and go with all natural stuff. Might
it'd be worth experimenting with, but you know, to see if it's going to be too strong. I know what you mean, but
yeah, worst comes to worst. By springtime, I have 30 gallons of manure tea.
Yeah, you got some fertilizer for the garden, that's for sure.
Yeah,
yeah, it might work.
Yeah, it'd be some interesting stuff to try this fall, getting stuff set up. But yeah, I think what I may do in the fall too, if Joe can recommend a good dwarf tomato, I may try doing one of these sun sugar orange cherry tomatoes. Try doing one of those indoors as well, in a different room.
Yeah,
I don't want to eat because in the wintertime I have the wood burning stove. I have the one fan blowing to circulate the air through the house. I don't want to cross pollinate.
Yeah, if you're gonna, well, with the sun sugar or whatever, they're a hybrid. So you're not, if you save seeds from it, I mean, you're not going to get a sun sugar anyway.
Yeah.
But
I'll be interested to see what comes up here from the seeds, because I know it dropped a bunch of tomatoes in those pots. I want to see what comes up out there.
Yeah.
See what it looks like.
But sometimes stuff is, even it's not going to be the same exact plant, but it doesn't mean it's not going to be a good plant. You know what I mean?
All right.
Same thing with like people, like you want to get into craziness. Like you got Jimmy Pickles, he isolates and sells isolated seeds. Well, a lot of these guys sell unisolated seeds. So you're eventually breaking down the actual genetics of that plant to where it's not, I mean, Tennessee probably knows about all this stuff. Like you buy a Reaper that's been grown in a garden with a bunch of other peppers. Eventually it's not a Reaper anymore. It's something else.
Yeah. And that nice metal jalapeno that you grew near the Reapers all of a sudden is a lot hotter than a normal jalapeno. But yeah, they check the numbers difference on different manures. Hydro solution is has high magnesium. Well, all right. High magnesium. That would. I'm trying to remember what the chemical is that Epsom salts is. Shoot.
That's magnesium.
Is that magnesium or? Hang on. Let me take a quick look here. Let me pull up the evil empire Google.
Yeah.
Epsom salt.
Some of my stuff I'm just gonna let open pollinate.
Oh, so it is magnesium sulfate. So yeah, so you can have if you need the magnesium stuff to it, you can add add the magnesium sulfate to the manure tea. You might get stuff. Got my super hot flowers before they open and pollinate.
Yeah, I just put my overwintered plants in the soil today, so hopefully they start taking off.
Yeah. Hopefully the winds we had here do not hit you.
We had some crazy winds actually the last 2 days. Like it blew the chairs and stuff across the yard. It was pretty windy.
Yeah,
Our garden is kind of protected. I mean, it still gets wind, obviously, but it's kind of protected to where it's set up.
Yeah. Back at the California house, my son is parking his car between up the side of the house. The driveway goes all the way up into the back, and so it's 13 feet space from the side of the house to the fence. The fence has 8-foot boards on it, and they're sitting up on a 1 foot retaining wall.
Yeah.
A little bit. You just it's just to keep the neighbor has big dogs and stuff. We put the boards on there so his dogs don't try to dig underneath and push and stuff. So basically, he's got 9 foot high on one side, the other side, and he got one of these 10 foot by 20 foot carports to put his car in, so it's not getting beat on by the sun. It's his first car he paid for. He's babying that car. And and so basically it's in there. So it's kind of protected most of the time from the wind. But he came in, my wife was saying that he came in there, what'd you move my carport? She goes, I didn't move it. The wind's blowing and you don't have it tied down.
Oh, yeah. You better get that baby anchored in there.
Yeah, and so she goes, I've tried moving it back a couple times, and the wind just is catching and moving it. They've been having windstorms there too, and this has been a windy winter and spring everywhere, I think. But yeah, I mean, it's like I said, the wind that was here today, I have never ever since we bought this place in 2016 seen anything like that up here. And I was talking to the city guy. And he goes, yeah, this has been a bad, windy 2 months here. It's never been like this before.
I've noticed. I've talked to some old timers about it and stuff. Like I feel like, to me, people talk about the weather changing and this and that. To me, what I notice the most, because I remember crazy weather when I was a kid. Weather goes in cycles.
Yeah.
But the wind, I think, has been getting worse and worse. It's like we just seem to be getting more and more high winds, like days of high winds.
Yeah. Yeah, that's something that Ben Davidson was saying about because of the poles are walking, or the magnetic poles are walking around and getting off, and therefore the magnetosphere is weakened quite a bit over the last 20 years, and more so over the last 5 years. And so there's getting a lot more from the sun. The geomagnetic waves and stuff is causing, basically causing currents, electrical currents from the up in the troposphere and the earth. So you get one area where the stuff's coming down, and another area where the stuff's going up and stuff, and that's actually driving a lot of winds.
Yeah.
Electrical current is driving the winds.
I'm glad to
Yes,
see
Tennessee Tech. That's what I'm talking about. Ben Davison.
I'm glad that there's other people that have noticed it. It's not just me, like thinking.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You're getting old when you're like, I remember back. It's like, no, it's like it seems like it's getting windier. It's kind of crazy. I'm telling you, I haven't had to cut down a tree for firewood at all since I've lived here because the wind cuts them down. Constantly, I'm cutting up trees. My mother-in-law's like, I got another tree down. I go over there and cut them up.
Yeah.
It's like it's crazy.
Yeah. Well, heck, the jet stream. The jet stream bushcrafter. We got two Tennessees in here now. We got Jeremy at Tennessee One Tactical, and we got Tennessee Bushcrafter. And I don't know what Tennessee Bushcrafter's first name is. Anyways, the Jetstream, show you the washing machine. Uncle Al called this washing machine last year. Where's Jetstream? All right, bring this up. Show it over here. So this here, if I get to adjust just right here, I don't lose. Okay, so we're just losing the top here. So this runs a 10-day period, I think. Okay, so starting on May 19th. And you look and see how that just changed and just went blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, next Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah. You look at that, how it's, the jet stream is no longer just straight across like it started. And look at it. You got it there. You had that.
Yeah, basically just, there was like a break in it, even like crazy. Yeah. Because I know.
So Wednesday, look at the screwiness going on Wednesday. It just totally compresses here and breaks, and then you got the high and low swirls going on.
Yeah, I know Joe up in Jersey, he's dealing with the tomorrow and Sunday are supposed to be in the 90s. We're going to be close to 90 here, and then on Monday, low 60s.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. So this is tomorrow. Well, actually, this is now. So we've already passed. So
it looks like a red dragon flying through there.
Yeah. And so this is your pressures and stuff like that going on. So that's what's going on over the United States for the jet stream. Now the other one here, you open a new one. Leave my girlfriend alone, guys. This is a site that Old School Prepper, Martha Old School Prepper turned me into. And this shows wind patterns at different elevations. So here, this is 2 meters above the ground. And you can see what's going on. Now, if I take it from 2 meters above the ground,
Yeah, that's different. I think your camera jacked up again.
you can hear me now.
I hear you now.
All right, unplug.
Yeah, Tennessee, you're talking about.
There we go. Yeah, and so so that's at basically 1,000 feet, 3,000 feet. But if I take it up a little bit higher, say to 3,000 meters or 9,000 feet where the airplanes fly, look at how fast that's going and changing around. And that's the current jet stream. Now, can you figure on Wednesday when we had that funky break and it did really bad? This will be interesting to look at on Wednesday evening.
Yeah, for sure. The way that, yeah.
And let me reset it to the base one. All right, so there's your base one. And I'm going to throw this into the chat. Hopefully it takes it all. If anybody wants to, pull that up and save that. There it is. There it is. And yeah, and thing is, you can also change it. So this is showing temperatures and wind speed here, but then you can change it to for clouds cover. You can adjust the wind speed as well. Different. You can take it to wind gusts. You can show thunderstorms. You can also take it to, so there's your thunderstorms coming up there. So you may get another tornado down here. Air pressure readings. Oh, no snow cover. No. Oh, wait a minute. They still have some up there in Canada.
It's starting to head down into Idaho again.
And yeah, you can run the humidity.
That's a pretty neat one.
Take it back up the temperatures and stuff. You get temperatures. You run your temperatures and wind speeds above ground. So do wind speeds only, and you get your.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
to be able to see it like that. That's
and it changed. Sometimes I've noticed it changed levels. You can be down at 500 meters above ground, and it's going one direction, and you go up to up higher here, and well, there's the jet stream really kicking in there. And sometimes it just totally changes, and the wind's going in the opposite direction, especially around Tornado Alley, from near the ground, from 6 meters above the ground to 4,000 meters above the ground, and you're going to get total different wind directions. So, but yeah. So that's some of the fun stuff.
Yeah, this Tennessee bushcrafter was looking at his forecast. It's like 7 days of rain forecasted for June. That's not going to be good.
All right. So Ventursky is that one where I can adjust all the time. This one here I'm putting in that's the link for this map. So that's from Weather Street. So you can if anybody wants to save those, it's a good thing to save. If you're ever interested, you always check on stuff, see what things look like.
Well, from today to the end of June. Oh my goodness. You're going to be watering for, wow. That sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to, And so we got our irrigation here. They're cutting irrigation this time on a week, off a week, on a week, off a week. And Guy was telling me that the current reserves for us go through the end of July, not August, not September, July. And they're hoping we get some rainstorms, and so it'll bump up. Either that, or they're hoping that there is up in the Tetons, at the head of the Snake River and the other contributaries, that there is a bunch of canyons up there loaded with snow to melt off to keep it coming.
Well, Gil, I'm gonna have to bail.
Yeah, I'm looking at the time too here.
I gotta
Yeah. All right, folks, we're going to wrap it up here. I want to thank everybody that came in, all those in the side chat that are watching, all those. and all side chat that are talking, and those that are lurking and just watching. Thank you all for coming in. Guys, you help drive the conversation. The midnight ride is, I want to hear some things you guys have in mind. Having Dustin up here really got us, and Courtney started off. I covered off a couple things I wanted to talk about, and then we went everywhere else. And
yeah, it was fun chat.
Yeah, that's what this is. It's things that are concerning you. And the main thing to remember about this is it's no fear, eyes open, ear to the ground, pay attention, head on a swivel, and we can share information with each other and get ourselves doing some things that we might not have thought of from suggestions from other people and things to look out for and do and get things done. So thank you, Dustin, for coming up here. Don't forget to check out Dustin's channel. It's King Poopah. His wife is Wide Family Farm. It's Courtney. Guys in the side chat here have great channels too. So with that, remember everyone, stay happy no matter what life throws at you. Don't let it get you down in the dump and all despaired. Stay safe. Don't go out and do anything foolish like trying to wire 220 while standing in a puddle of water. And keep adding to your preps: water, food, medicine, skills, and plant something. Grow food. Indoors, outdoors, both. All right. See you around. Take care, guys. 2